heading to work too here in a little while, so I'll be
cool.
Here or not.
All right. It says we are live. Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing today? It is an early Saturday morning. It is 8:02. Running about 2 minutes late. I do apologize for that. Just a quick little disclaimer, guys. I sound and feel like crud today. I've got a chest cold going on, a head cold. So I will be muting myself frequently. Probably a good thing for you all. But anyway, I've been feeling a little bit better. We're hanging in there. But we are ready to rock today. We're going to talk about, it's kind of a hodgepodge, a little bit of everything. Before we do that, let's go ahead and see who's joining us over on the gun channel side. Tony is over there. Tony was with us earlier. He did have a little medical procedure yesterday, so he is ducking out today, but he was with us this morning talking, letting us know that he's been doing good. So hopefully he'll be back on the early watch here pretty soon. Over here on the gun channel side, we got a lot of people joining in already. We got a little trigger tickler over there. Yes, NEA is with us today. The other Travis is with us. 30 Clipazine is with us. Frank Watson, Samson 1, D-Temp 62, John Brown Productions. You guys ever sleep? You guys were all watching Gizzard Gary last night at like 12:30. Man, I'll tell you what, you guys are hardcore. You guys are, I think we need our own channel at this point. We just need gun channels, the Roku channel, where we just have just podcast after podcast after podcast going on to watch. Firefighter 09100 or 9100. He's going off to the Columbus, Ohio rally this morning. Do that. Go get your rally on. Midnight Range is out there. E-Rock is out there. Midnight Range, maybe we can get you to join in. I did send you a link. I know you're a busy man this morning. And then I just said hello. So, Peter Faustlin just joined us real quick here. And Frank Watson's with us too. So before we go on, let's go ahead and let the panel introduce themselves. So on my left, AWAG, why don't you tell us about your channel, what projects you got going on? Let us know a little bit about what you do.
Hiya. My channel is, if you haven't already heard this or have beaten into the skull by me by force, yeah, so I build AKs and stuff. I like building things. So my channel is mostly centered around building things or making things work better, and cars and guns, obviously, and now I'm getting into building PCs, so I need money. So I mean, you can donate to me via PayPal, and that's about it. If you want,
you need to get that. Also, you need to document your whole PC construction series on YouTube. That'd be cool to watch. I'd show off that tower and the ins and outs, the positives and negatives to it. Document the whole series. That'd be cool to watch because there's people that do that kind of thing every day.
Yeah,
something to think about.
I'll think about it now that I got a new phone and it has a way better camera than my old phone and a way better microphone than my old phone. I probably would do that. I just got to find a clean spot in my garage, and I will. I'll do that.
Remember to use landscape mode.
Okay, I always use landscape mode when I record.
There you go. There you go. Cool, man. So, guys, make sure you check out AWAG 1000's channel over there on YouTube. Matt is with us. Never Enough Ammo is gracing us with his presence this morning. How you doing today, Matt?
Pretty good, but it's no longer Never Enough Ammo. It's Mr. Matt.
It's Mr. Matt. Mr. Matt.
Oh, wait.
Mr. M.
Icon up there.
What happened?
Senor Mateo.
What happened?
I've been lost from YouTube.
He's been so busy playing with his new computer that...
No, I got another strike on my channel, and I can no longer upload videos on YouTube, so I'm stuck to my secondary channel, Mr. Matt. So...
No, his name is Baby. It's Matt.
Now I do have something I'm gonna drop here. I'm gonna give one last fuck you to YouTube because I had a video uploaded that I hadn't gone live yet with, so I'm gonna make it go live and just I don't know. It's gonna have a subtitle of "fuck YouTube." So it'll be the last video that gets uploaded over there because it was already there.
Well, I think that's only fitting that it goes out with a bang. That's.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's an okay video. It's not like it's a great fucking video.
And a lot of us were watching your podcast the other night where you were helping me destroy my channel, where you're just going through stuff left and right. It's like, you know what? I'm not going to give YouTube the glory of cashing in on my work. Yeah. Oh. And people got to understand with those podcasts, man. I mean, they were epic. They are awesome, but they do take up a crap ton of space.
Oh yeah.
Unless you had like 20 terabyte hard drives. There's no way you could back those things up. And even then,
No,
to
there's no
re-upload
way.
them, I mean, it would take forever to re-upload them. I mean, you know, they're just like anything. They're meant to be enjoyed. You get through them, you watch them, you get the memories, and then you go to the next one, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, there's
a lot of good stuff there. There's about 7 years of memories on those podcasts. But
so YouTube actually destroys families, is what we could say, right? YouTube does, and YouTube destroys families by not letting us keep our family together online.
That's true. That's true.
That's discrimination.
It is.
It's not. So what's going on the Mr. Matt channel? Are you gonna re-upload some of the old videos, or are you just gonna bring us a different type of content? What's the plan, or what do you want to do? I know you're rolling on with the podcast right now.
Yeah, no, I mean, all the podcasts are still going to be there. I'm pulling everything off of Never Enough Ammo in a last-ditch effort to salvage it and keep it from getting any more strikes. And if it doesn't, then I'll be able to use it again in 2 months. But I'm not very hopeful of that. Mr. Matt's going to basically be all the stuff I would normally do on Never Enough Ammo with a little tweaking, because obviously now we're being censored, so there's some things we can't do or say. But it'll still be guns, and it'll still be politics, and but it's also going to probably be some other stuff too. There's other things. I have other interests in case anybody that has never watched the Monday Night Chat didn't know. I do like things other than guns and politics. So there'll be some of that on that channel too. It won't be just be exclusively guns and politics. And the other thing is all my guns and politics stuff that I can't do on YouTube is going to be on Full 30 now. Mac saw my Patreon post the other day about the strike, and he fast-tracked my account over in Full 30, so I'm waiting for that to go through. So hopefully by next week I'll start uploading stuff on Full 30.
That's cool.
So that'll be up, and then there's some other platforms. I got contacted by somebody who's actually a subscriber of mine, and who's anyway he works with Yankee on some stuff. Anyway, he and some other people, they're based out of Austin. They got the capital to start up a whole new competitor to YouTube that is not gun related at all, and they're supposed to go live in about 4 weeks. Obviously they're tapping into the gun community, they're tapping into conservatives, they're tapping into the airsoft community, they're tapping into all the communities that have been hit with all these new rules and regulations, and they're going to be starting that up. He said they're about 4 weeks off from launch, and they're looking at taking up live streaming about 2 months after that, so they'll be able to do the live streams and the podcast and all that stuff. They're basing themselves to compete with YouTube, not just to be a place for guns. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're looking to tap. They're looking to tap into everything. So they were contacted. I was contacted by them, and the guy said, "Hey, we want you to. Will you come upload over there?" And I said, "Sure, yeah, why not?" And he goes, "Okay, I'll keep you in the loop." He's like, "We'll go live in about 4 weeks." And as that comes up, I'll let you guys know more what's going on with that and all that kind of stuff. But they're obviously still working out a lot of last minute kinks and stuff.
I got a question. Is this everything or almost everything?
It's everything. He said this is everything. He said even to the point he's going to be like, yeah. He said he's basing this around absolute and true freedom to do what you want. He said, I don't care if you post stuff on this website that I don't agree with. I don't care. He's like, do it, go for it. He's like, we will have a flagging system in place to help monitor the website. So that way, if there is something, because we can't watch everything, if there is something truly offensive there, it can get caught. He's like, but every time you flag, you're going to be asked to make a $10 deposit on a credit card or a debit card. And he's like, and if the flag goes through and it's justified, you get that $10 back. If not, $5 of that goes to the person you were trying to flag. He's like, that's going to be our flagging system.
That is a great
He's like, that way, nobody flags any. He's like, first of all, it's going to stop people from flagging just
where your mouth is.
Bullshit. Yeah. He said it's going to stop people from flagging bullshit because they're going to be like, I don't want to cough up $10. Even if they think they're right and they're not worried about losing the $5, they won't want to go through the hassle of doing their credit card and stuff. So that stops a lot of flagging right there. But then, of course, the other side of that is they'll lose half that $10 to the person they want to flag if they are unjustly flagging the content.
People will send money to Patreon. People will send money to Super Chat. So if they're that serious about something, they would send money to have something flagged too. I'm not saying I'm not saying it's going to encourage them. I'm going to say, you know, if somebody goes, well, I shouldn't have to pay to do this. Well, you pay for Patreon, you pay for Super Chat. You don't want to pay for this, you know?
Yeah. That's the thing, though. But
it's a good point.
And so, and even if they, and again, you know, even if they really, really believe in it enough to do that, if it comes back that it's bullshit anyway, that it's not justified, that it's not flaggable content, that there's nothing wrong with it, they lose half all that money that they spent flagging something. You know, the only way that video comes down is if they pay for it. And on top of that, somebody at the company has looked at it and gone, yeah, that's pretty bad. Like they're trying to recruit terrorists or something. You know what I mean? Like that's
right. The serious
that's how it works.
Be out there.
Yeah. So either way, I mean, it doesn't matter if they want to raise money to flag content. That's fine. And the other side of that is this company is going basically to do what YouTube used to do, which is just because a video gets flagged doesn't mean your channel comes down. It means the video comes down. Do we all? I remember those days.
Nice.
I've had plenty of videos. I've had plenty of videos on YouTube that they took down, you know, over the years. I would say stuff about Islam or whatever, and they go, we don't believe this is appropriate. And they didn't, and they flagged the video, they took the video down, but they didn't give me a channel strike for it. Like they saved channel strikes. They used to save channel strikes for truly heinous content, like stuff that was really evil, really bad. Again, recruiting terrorists, things like that. And that was fine. You know, a lot of us have lost videos to that back in the day. The biggest problem we face with YouTube now is they've turned that flagging system into a channel strike system. You know, there is no buildup between the two. You know, you used to have to really, to get a channel strike, you had to do something pretty bad. You know, you were either consistently doing copyright infringement and obviously trying to use YouTube to spread bootleg movies, or it had to be terroristic in nature, or I mean, it had to be bad to get a channel strike, you know? And they've just taken the middleman out. No, you can get flagged for a video that talks about buying a gun, which is completely 100% legal, or talks about, you know, the statistics of suicide, which is what I got flagged for. You can do that now, and that's automatically. It's not just well, you know, it could simply be we don't want that type of content here, so we're going to remove this video. No, it's we don't want that type of content here, so we're going to remove this video, and your ability to post anything, even if it doesn't have anything to do with the video we don't like. That's the problem. Anyway, so that this other company that's going live, they at least appear to be attempting to do it the right way, and it is run by people who are, you know, gun owners and that kind of thing. But they straight up told me, they're like, well, we don't care. We want liberal people over there. We want people. Doesn't matter what you believe. We want this to be an actual, truly open, unbiased platform. That's what we want to create for everybody. So
sounds good.
We'll see how that goes. Yeah. So, but apparently he said right now, and I don't know this guy that well. I've talked to him before in the past. I think Yankee knows him a little better than I do. But he's a guy that he kind of is in the know when it comes. He invests in a lot of businesses and he starts businesses, and he's kind of that type of guy, kind of an entrepreneurial type of guy. And he was telling me, he's like, right now the organizations out there, the banking systems out there, the people out there, the lenders, the investors, they are seeing blood in the water with Facebook and YouTube. He's like, they're seeing Mark Zuckerberg up in front of the Senate. They're seeing what happened with Facebook and their privacy issues. They're seeing what's happening with YouTube and all the stuff going on with people being very, very unhappy with how YouTube is doing business. And these people are willing to invest money in new platforms. There are people out there who want to be in on the next big thing when it comes to social media. And he's like, it was simple. He said it was so easy for me to get capital to do this. He said it took almost nothing.
Breakup of the 1980s.
Yeah, exactly. He said there are just people out there with cash to burn that's what they want to spend it on. They want to try and find that next big social media outlet. He's like, it took almost nothing for me to get money for this. And now, granted, that's coming from somebody who's already swimming in those circles, obviously. So it's a little bit easier for him than it would be any of us to go, hey, we got an idea, you know, let's go to Shark Tank. But yeah, he said right now is a good time for people that want to try and find something, you know, want to try to start something up new, because there are people in the know who are looking at what Facebook and YouTube are doing, and they're like, yeah, this is not going to last forever. So
now the site you're referring to I was clearing my head with a Kleenex earlier. Did you mention the name of the site? It's
called, I think it's called, what is it? He told me the name. It's a Greek word.
Oh.
Is it Phileas or
okay, I'll have to look around. We can post it in the chat at some point here.
He said, yeah, I think it's like Phileas, like Phileas, Leus or something like that, like the cloud, like Affilius Cloud or something like that.
Oh,
I think
okay.
Somebody correct me. I'm probably saying it wrong or adding a letter. It's a Greek word anyway. But he said it's the Greek word for the name of the hat that the Greeks would give you when they freed you from slavery.
Oh wow.
That's where they got it from. So it's a representation of that object, that word. It's the representation for freedom. That's why they picked that name.
Which, when you break free of the bonds of YouTube, that's kind of what's going on, It's
yeah, and that's why they said they picked it. So it's Freedom Tube for all intents and purposes. It's you come here and do what you want to do. So cool. I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong or saying something because I don't know Greek for shit. But you're a teacher, you should know this shit, right? You know all about Greek and clouds.
Greek, I know. Gyro sandwich.
Gyro, there you Greek. Go. Yeah. Apparently it's the name of a cloud.
Flash the Titans. Perseus.
It's what they call the clouds that like sit atop mountains and look like a cap, or it looks like a little cap floating in the sky, kind of a triangular shape. So whenever a cloud looks like that, they call it like a Phileas cloud, because that's the same shape that those hats were. Which he said it was interesting. He said because the caps that they used to put on them looked almost like the little play button, like the little arrow, the little triangle. It looks almost like the play button from YouTube. So
I have to look around on that. Well, I'm sure if you get that, post a video about it, talking about that's coming up, and it'd be nice to hear about that. So yeah,
he's gonna keep me in the loop. So as soon as that goes, he said he's about 4 weeks out from going live with the website. So
cool. For a lot of us, it's going to be a rebuilding process, whether we're trying to get our second channels up and running and going and trying to build that fan base again, or going someplace else. And I know I did apply for Full 30. I got my stuff posted over on GunTube, over on Night Strike's project. And I mean, I'm planning on right now. GunTube's working well for me. I'm just doing one upload every couple weeks. And I like that. It's a solid platform. It's going to be nice to have a lot of options, I think. And so I think that's what's important. So cool. All right. Well, thanks for joining us this morning, man. I do appreciate you being here. Night Strike, what is going on in your world? You're a busy little man. What are you doing these days?
GunTube. That's what I'm doing these days. Just literally GunTube and maybe going out in the backyard and shooting every now and then.
Cool. Now, what about your podcast? What shows do you do?
Hit or miss Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock. The Friday Night Strike, 8 Eastern. There we go.
It's funny, when I was doing my ammo unboxing video a couple weeks ago, I had somebody that posted a comment. And I had mentioned that. I said, you might see me over on, Hit or Miss Tuesday nights. All right. I said their service is Hit or Miss Tuesday nights, 9 o'clock. And then I went on with my unboxing. And somebody posted a comment that said, what the hell's wrong with you? What are you talking about? 9 o'clock. What? This video sucks. Thumbs down. I'm like, dude, what? I was like, look, I had to explain to him. And he's like, oh, sorry, my bad. It's a show. It's on YouTube.
It's like, dude, why? You've been watching my videos forever. What the hell?
No, people flip out. It's like when they're driving, they just go ballistic if there's something they don't like. You got to understand that when you make YouTube content, people go nuts, man. They go postal on you on comments, dude.
You must have been drinking.
He's like, what are you talking about? You're weird. Thumbs down. I was like, what?
So GunTube officially has live streaming now that works. I had to mess with it last night, so I was up late. And everything right now works on GunTube. Travis, I'm going to tell you, so help me, don't break it.
I've not broken it yet, and it's been up for months now. I've been reserved about. I've just been putting the caliber corners up over there because caliber corners are one of those things I'm not backing up and exporting because of the amount of space they take up on my hard drive. So I've just been pushing them over there. So they've been loading up over on GunTube. Plus, it's a nice. I like this show because it gives people a variety of topics. It's not just an unboxing or range test or whatever. It's fun. So that's why the caliber corners for right now are also being put up over on GunTube. I've been starting that just a couple weeks ago. Then I did put the reloading caliber corners over there because I made them private on YouTube. But Matt, I should probably just go ahead and delete them anyway before I get nailed for those. Because all we did was discuss reloading. We didn't actually show anything. We did have one episode, Squib, when that second later episode that we did where you were showing us what to do. But those episodes are available over on GunTube.
Put that one back on. I woke up late. I was in my robe. No. delete that one.
Really? That video was awesome. And it's not you in the robe. I mean, you in the robe is awesome anyway. But the reloading part was wait a minute. What? Anyway, yeah,
wait
no.
A minute, what? No, Travis.
I rolled out of bed, booted up the computer, and then ran downstairs with my phone or something. Yeah.
I mean, maybe if you just don't wear a shorty robe next time, it might be a little bit better. I don't know. You know,
I was trying to get the ladies.
There's only like 2 or 3 that watch this show, and they're all married, bro. I'm sorry, man.
No, you just lost.
Anyway, those are if you want to enjoy that full glory going over to GunTube, you can watch those podcasts. They're good podcasts. They're great. They're very informative. They were fun to make. I learned a lot from them. So that's why they're over there. But anywho, so Night Strike again. Thanks for joining us. You've also got the Friday Night Strike. Is that right? You did an episode last night.
Yeah, I did an episode last night. I didn't do one last week or in Tulsa either. So
yeah, we should have did a Friday Night Strike, but you were sleeping, weren't you? You were sleeping because we tried to deliver pizza to your room and you wouldn't take it. So
don't remind me.
Well, not pizza, a slice of pizza. That's right. We tried to.
Because
it was really good pizza. Not that I know.
It was good. It was awesome, and the way it was presented to us was it was from Night Strike, and then there was a "shall not be infringed" message, which was like permission for us to go ahead and eat it. So
No. No. You misread it. It said "shall not be in fridge."
Oh, shall not be in fridge. Okay,
yes.
Okay, gotcha.
I just thought the right of the gun channels people to eat Night Strike's pizza shall not be infringed.
Yes,
No, it said "shall not be in fridge," not "shall not be infringed."
Oh, see, the delivery boy was totally confused when he said it to us. So, all right. So anyway, Night Strike, thanks for joining us this morning. I know it's early for you, but thanks for being here. So up next, we've got our
early watch every morning. It's not that early for me.
Are you? Oh yeah, you're still hosting that too, aren't you? Yes. What time do you guys generally start that?
Generally, whenever Jimmy gets there, which is usually anywhere in between 9:30 and 11.
Okay. So it's kind of just be watching for the notification, right?
It's Jimmy. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Watch for the notification.
Oh, man. Good stuff. Let's see here. What's going on? All kinds of comments going on over on the YouTube side. I'm trying to keep up. Still waiting for a few people to show up on the gun channel side. I did post this over there. Up next, guys, we have our next biggest viral YouTube star, Sandhill Shooter. Sandhill Shooter. What is the vid count on that execution video that you did? What was it? What?
That really makes it sound like I'm the Spring Hill Shooter again when you say that.
You will always be the Spring Hill Shooter to us.
So Sandhills has a video that he did on a whim, and it's a good video because it's got this M. Night Shyamalan feel to it, where you get to the end, it's like, oh my God, it was history. It didn't, you think it just happened the way it was presented to you. And you're like, this is a part of everyone's history. Yeah.
The thing about this video is you got to understand that 2 weeks ago when we were in Tulsa, as far as YouTube goes, still as far as YouTube goes, I was a nobody. I was a tiny little channel. I had like 50 subscribers, maybe. I think I had 37 when we got to Tulsa, and I think when we left Tulsa, I think I had maybe 67 or something like that. But I made this video just on a goof. I was sitting looking through my phone when I was eating breakfast, and I saw somebody posted this story. It looked like a real news story, and I've seen it before. So I thought, you know what? As much fun as I've been having playing around, going live, and putting videos out and stuff, I read it like it was breaking news, like it just came through. And I thought, there's going to be, out of my 60 subscribers, there's going to be 2 or 3 that watch this. They're going to laugh. It's going to be fun. Haha, whatever. And all of a sudden, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's because the title has gun confiscation or what, but this thing started to explode. And it is now up to 194,000 views. And I am at 880 subs. So thank you, everybody, for the support. Last week on the Snowpocalypse Now Caliber Corner, I got over 100. So that's how fast this has ballooned for me. So I have no idea how this is working. I am thrilled. I am 120 subs away from being able to actually go monetized. that would be amazing. And so anybody that's listening, if you haven't subbed, I sure would appreciate the support. I never did get around to doing that video for 100 sub giveaway. So I think now I'm just going to make it 1,000 sub giveaway and just make the prize worth subscribing for and trying to get. So I think we'll do that. So you heard it here first.
Nice, sir. Are you a moderator on this on my channel? So you can post if you wanted to post the GunTube link so people can go watch it on GunTube. They have that option also.
Yes, he's got it on GunTube. Let me go load up the YouTube video or not.
Hey, Travis, hold on just a second here. Let me turn my camera on.
Yeah, because you're up to 194,000 views on that video, which is pretty cool. Because 3 days ago it was like 40.
Oh, dang it! Hold on. He's pointing at me. I don't want pointing at me. I'm running an errand for work here this morning.
Gotcha.
There you go.
Parked.
Check it out on GunTube, guys. There's the GunTube link to it.
There.
He uploaded it to GunTube as well.
Cool.
All right, Travis, you got to see where I'm going this morning. You see that sign right there?
Oh, yeah, D-Light Donuts. You better not buy anything with sprinkles or I will boot you out of this lobby so fast, mister.
Do it! Do it!
Get the coconut sprinkles.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Sprinkles.
No sprinkles this morning. Oh, you turn off your camera. Now you want to surprise us. You turn off the camera. Okay, I see how it is.
Just get a bowl of coconut sprinkles and eat them.
Look, I don't care if you're America's Next Top Model. I'm going to boot you out of this lobby so fast. Anyway, if you guys aren't familiar, D-Light Donuts is a small chain kind of owned in, I don't know if it's just Nebraska, but they've got amazing donuts. They're huge. I mean, the donuts are just awesome. That's
Hey Travis.
Yo.
Do you remember the donuts from the Tulsa Gun Show?
You want me to boot you? I'll kick you out of here too, son.
I'm gonna go to Dunkin' Donuts right now and just get a whole box of Krispy Kreme donuts.
Boxes and boxes of Krispy Kremes. You open it up and like the first 2 boxes were nothing but besprinkled badness going on there. Hey Matt, look at all those little sugary ants on top of there.
Oh this is now, my gosh!
Here's the deal with D-Light, guys.
I see them. Left.
D-Light opens up at 5 in the morning. Those cases
absolute unfettered
right?
bullshit.
This D-Light is usually packed at 5. What Sandhills was showing us is like what's left at 8:30. By 10 o'clock, 10:30, they're gone. They usually have just like muffins.
Dude, I open that up.
And that's it.
I open that thing up at a gun channel's table, expecting donuts, not utter disrespect.
Psycho Camp did that just to mess with you.
Yeah.
You know, just because Psycho Camp's bigger than us and he can whoop us doesn't mean that he has a right to insult us like that.
And just because he sings like Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, and he's a hit with the ladies, and he's got an awesome Hemingway-like beard and a prowess about him that men would die for, doesn't mean that he can insult us.
Travis, I think you're going a little overboard there, but just, you know.
Dude, Psycho Camp's cool.
Not.
He's like the uncle we never
really
had.
Not. Yeah, he's
genuinely
if you can imagine that Frank Sinatra somehow had a baby with Dean Martin and an angel. I don't know how, but if you could do that,
and Ernest
that would be
was the grandpa.
Yes, exactly.
Oh man, did we get John Z to sing that night or not? I can't remember.
And Charlton Heston was the weird.
No, he held the camera.
Okay.
John held the camera.
John is just awesome, man. He's just got that cool voice. That cool voice, everybody. I'm John Z. Oh man,
John
awesome.
Zeno.
I love doing impersonations.
Now you're making it sounding like he's from Brooklyn.
He is. Well, no, he's from Queens. Isn't he?
Well, not far apart.
I don't know. Flatbush. I can't remember what borough he's from exactly, but yeah.
Too many boroughs.
Let's see what's going on. Ellis, shoot me a link. Shoot you, Ellis? You want me to shoot you? I can't shoot you.
That'd be illegal, Ellis.
Okay, so let's move on to Squib. Squib is joining us. Squib, what is new in your world? You're not at a game this morning?
No, it's 11:30, so still got, 2 hours?
11:30? Dude, where are you at?
No, the game's at 11:30.
Oh, okay. I was like, where are you on are you in the Atlantic Ocean or something?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm in Atlantic time zone right now, and no, I just uploaded my first video to GunTube. This better work, Night Strike. See, I know that I could just get a hold of Night Strike. I don't have to worry about getting put on hold for 37 minutes and then getting hung up on.
Yeah, no
right,
doubt.
Matt?
No doubt, man.
Yeah, that's crap. What
Yeah,
they
fuck
did.
that shit.
Yeah, it's crap what they did to you, man.
Good God.
Yeah,
This
you all
is-
have my phone number, so I can't get rid of you guys now.
So I set up, while we were talking, I set up an account on GunTube and I uploaded my first video, and it's a video that YouTube wouldn't even let me get on. As soon as I put it in my channel, I made it private because I wasn't ready to release it. It instantly got a copyright strike, so whatever.
What?
Yeah. So what I did was I took video clips and music from other people's videos. I said, if this is already on YouTube, then I know it's good to use. It's my experiment trying to put music and stuff in a video. And I'm just picking fun at the Lock and Load show. And as soon as I put it in my creator studio here, as soon as I set it up, it instantly said blocked worldwide, copyright strike. So whatever. But there's 50 other videos on YouTube just like it, with the same music, the same footage, the same everything, and they're not blocked. So we'll put it on YouTube and see if Night Strike blocks it, or I mean on GunTube and see if Night Strike blocks it.
Night Strike doesn't care.
Howdy, folks.
Hey,
Hi.
Ellis is joining us this morning. Hey, are you?
Oh, I
You're
thought
dressed
you
up like
lit
a park
another
ranger,
fast,
dude. Are you
so-
going off to the woods or what? Oh my God! Look where you are. Look at that. Look at that delicious palace of wonderfulness you got there. What?
Palmetto State Armory.
Palmetto State Armory.
Oh.
I
Are
know,
they even
dude,
open yet? Are they even open? Is there a
No.
doorbuster today or what?
Ellis, are you in Ridgeland?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
he's
am.
a-
I know that store.
I did too.
Mm.
I've been to that one a couple times.
Are you going to go exchange to Chris Vector or what?
No, I'm going to take a CCW class.
Hey, there
Oh,
you go.
finally!
Haha. Nice. Now,
Listen.
Ellis, did you buy Chris Vector? Did I see that correct on Instagram?
No, I did
Oh,
not
so
buy
you're
a Chris Vector.
What were
That
you
was
showing
another
off in a case then? You said, look what came in the mail, and there was like a little red dot, and then there was a Chris Vector. I didn't understand the photos.
That was Coy. That was not me.
Oh, I thought that was your
That was
post.
Garage Guns.
Oh, I couldn't tell. I wasn't sure. So, okay, because I was like, hey, congrats, man. I had no idea.
Yeah, I wish.
Garage Guns is over in Monk's Corner. That's the opposite amount of distance from Ellis, from where I'm at. So
Cool.
Yeah.
The man
Hey,
is excited.
Ellis, if you talk about your experience there, let me know how the range is in there. I got to see it, but I didn't go in. I was there on a trip, so I didn't have any. I mean, I suppose I didn't even check to see if they have rentals there.
they have rentals.
At that
They
one.
had-
Yes, they have rentals at all the ranges.
I mean, you can look in through the plexiglass and see the range. It looked pretty good, but I didn't go in there.
Well, I don't know if
Rentals
they
at all
will.
the ranges.
I don't know if they're actually going to let me or not, but I'm going to try to get some video of part of the class and maybe some range time. Now,
Yeah, they had a good selection of ammo in there. They had reload stuff, any kind of AR part you want. I mean,
The one in Somerville that they just built is bigger. I mean, it's like the scale of Dick's Sporting Goods, but all PSA.
Very cool. Very cool. Hey, let's continue the introductions. Squib, were there any shows that you wanted to plug real quick before we go on? Any shows that we should be watching with you, or what do you recommend?
Lock and Load on Monday nights. We keep changing the time. Last Monday, I think we didn't come on till 11 Eastern, so
Okay.
time varies. But if you subscribe, you'll get a notification. Well, probably not because YouTube sucks.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Whatever.
maybe not, but
Maybe
yeah,
not.
it's hit or miss Tuesday nights 9 o'clock with that.
Yeah, it is.
Mhm.
So
Cool, man. Well, I want to thank you for joining us. Another guest we've had on Caliber Corner a few times here, Texas Mers. Texas, what is going on, dude? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Thanks for inviting me.
All right. How's schooling coming along? You're all finished up with the classes now. You're out there. Are you doing some practicals? What do you got?
I got one more week left and one more test, and then I got take the board exam and got 3 interviews lined up. So that's
Cool. All right. Now, you don't have to tell us exactly where you're going to be at, but are you going to live around like the DFW area, the Houston area? Where do you want to go?
Well, actually, I'm
Out of state?
looking at my wife's from Pennsylvania, so we're actually
Oh.
looking to move closer to her family. So the 3 interviews that I have are in Morgantown, West Virginia, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and Culpeper, Virginia.
Very cool. Very
cool. West Virginia.
Right.
That's awesome. Well, hey, man, good luck with everything. I hope that goes well. Do you have any content on your channel that people, anything you're going to be putting out there for videos, or do you have any plans in the future for what you'd like to do?
Well, I don't know. I mean, all the drama that's going on. I mean, I don't know if I want to start anything on YouTube, but maybe if this gun channel or GunTube works out, maybe I'll start making content and everything. But I wanted to ask you, are you drinking Starbucks coffee right there? I thought.
No, not at all. No, this is a reusable plastic cup.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm drinking Black Rifle coffee.
I didn't want to.
No.
I didn't want you to like be accused of racism or anything, since Starbucks is all against black people now.
Yeah. No.
Did you just assume his coffee?
He just assumed his coffee.
I think he did. He just assumed
Come on now,
your coffee.
don't profile me just because I'm white. No.
Come on, black coffee matters.
It does. That's the only way you should do that anyway. I try to hit local coffee shops wherever I go. I generally try not to buy Starbucks coffee if possible. I mean, we do stop there from time to time. My wife's a big fan of their beverages, but it's kind of a evil. But no. For me, it's the nearest Starbucks is an 80-mile round trip. So from where I'm at, so no,
Oh, good deal. Good deal.
I don't like Starbucks.
I just usually get the black coffee and that's it. I like their dark roast and stuff. It's strong. I mean, I'm gonna give them some credit. It's got a crap load of caffeine in it. You want to get going, the stuff works, but I just don't. And I'm gonna say something about that. In their defense, okay, and you should never defend Starbucks, but in their defense, they are trying to make it right with all the stuff they're doing. They are taking care of the 2 guys that they screwed over. They are doing training for every single employee. They're going to shut their stores down. And I know it's maybe just a gesture to some people, but the CEO has come out and said, we were blatantly wrong. That person made the wrong decision. That's not our practice. That's not our policy. That was a choice that person made. And, maybe if the restroom policy was, a lot of places just say no public restrooms or restrooms for paying customers only. If they had a sign posted, that would have fixed the whole problem, especially if they're in an area where maybe they have a lot of transients come in that try to use the restroom or go in there, because you don't know what a person's going to do if they're coming in off the street and they want to use a bathroom. You'd like to think most people have nothing but good intentions, but you also don't want somebody going in there shooting up at the same time. So
can I ask a question, though? Because I honestly can't understand the concept. I know that everybody in Starbucks, it sounds like everybody in the whole company, is going to have to go through this retraining for what they call it, the subconscious,
like a cultural awareness training.
Subconscious racial discrimination, basically, is what it is. Like, you got to be retrained so that you don't make up a snap judgment in your mind when you look at somebody and subconsciously treat them differently. Like, isn't that part of being a human? We do that. That's what humans do.
No,
I do that all the time.
Starbucks is a huge company, and they have a big image, and what they're trying to do is save face on their image. The military did the same thing 25 years ago when they started doing sexual harassment training. They had never done this crap before, and they were catching so much flack over so much time that as a public relations thing, every year they do a 2-day stand down where everybody goes down to the base theater or some other place where they can gather, and they sit and they watch videos and do training on sexual harassment. But it took a lot of bad PR. So Starbucks is a huge company. This is bad PR for them. In order to save face, they're going to take advantage of the fact that they've got deep pockets and they can afford to do this. They can afford to shut down for a day and pay all their employees to go to this training and all this other stuff. They don't want to have a bad image.
I understand the concept,
but it's absolutely totally pointless though.
But yeah, I guess I wanted to talk a little bit about what good is this actually going to do? Because as people, we do that. I mean, I'm in retail sales, and I catch myself doing that every day. Somebody walks in the door, and maybe they just got off work. I can't really tell, but they're not the cleanest person, or maybe they were in a hurry to run some errands and didn't take a shower and wash their hair. But that doesn't mean they don't have any money.
Right.
And it's something that we get trained on too, is to not judge people just by the way they look or whatever. You don't assume anything, but still, the reason that we do that or we say that is because it's part of being a human being. We all do that as humans, especially where I grew up. we didn't have really any minority groups aside from Native Americans. So as far as a Hispanic community or an African American community, you know, I didn't grow up around those communities, and so it's taken a big portion of my adult life to overcome the subconscious, I guess, judging, just because there are people that are different from me that I'm not used to being around. You know, like, it's cool. I don't have a problem with any one group of people, but you know, like I said, when you grow up in an environment and you don't have anybody of a certain, you know, demographic around you, I mean, you just make those judgments because that's what you know.
Can I just real quick? Can I
understand that?
Can I just portray the devil's advocate here and just play the liberal here real quick, the left leaning nut job, and just because I feel like we need to add that side of this into the equation. Bigot, racist. Okay, I'm done. That's it.
All right. Man, well, at least he had full disclosure.
But see, that's the thing is, I grew up a homophobe, and it took having gay friends for me to get over that and to understand things better. You know, I didn't grow up anti, you know, anybody as far as, you know, I didn't grow up in a house where people didn't like black people or didn't like Hispanic people or whatever. It wasn't like that. But at the same time, I didn't have any black friends. I didn't have any Hispanic friends growing up because there weren't any people like that where I came from.
That's the same with me.
I just had to be.
Yeah.
The Sandhills is the same thing when somebody who's from the country goes to the city and they're a little intimidated because they have to go to the city for whatever reason, and they don't go to the city very often. They weren't raised around that stuff. Where somebody who lives in a city isn't intimidated because it's just the city. It's the same difference. It has nothing to do with
the same thing when people from the city would come out to where, you know, as a kid, I was 20 miles from a town of 300 people, less than 1,000 people in the whole county. And so, yeah, I know what it's like to be out in the boonies in the middle of nowhere. But when my relatives, my cousins from a big town would come out and stay, then they couldn't handle, there's no noise, there's no light, you know. I mean, it's intimidating the other way too, and I get that. But that's what I'm saying is, as a human, we make all of our decisions based on our experiences, and if we don't have those other experiences, we're going to make bad decisions. I mean, that's just life.
And some of that, though, some of those judgments that you're making are part of the whole, you know, being aware of your surroundings and being prepared for something to happen. I mean, you don't want to be paranoid, but on the other hand, you don't want to be naive or ignorant either. Unfortunately, sometimes you can use your experience or lack of experience to try to make a judgment of if something's a threat or not, and you might make a bad call. Really, what they should have done is they should have just said, you know what, to hell with our policy. Let's just unlock the restroom, let these guys use it, and they'll be on their way. That's what they could have done and de-escalated the whole situation. But instead, you know, they had to handle it like this. And I got to tell you, for somebody who has, I don't know where this was. I'm guessing it was New York City or somewhere like that.
Yeah, it was in New York.
Okay, the first time we ever went to New York City was last year. Never been there in our lives, don't have any relatives from there, nothing like that. We parked the car in a structure and we started walking towards Central Park. Everybody had to go to the bathroom. There was no place to pull over, no rest areas, or no nothing. The whole way, going through the toll booths and all this other stuff. We get it out there. Every building that looks like an apartment or office building or something has a code on the door to get in the door. So you can't just go into a building and try to find a public restroom. So we went looking for what would you look for when you're on the road? A McDonald's. We found a McDonald's. We went into McDonald's and there's a damn lock on the door with a push button code. You have to buy a sandwich or something and get a receipt. And at the bottom of the receipt is the push button code. So I went and I think I bought a coffee and a hash brown or something to get the code. I had never experienced this in my entire life.
Yeah.
You know, early 40s and never had seen any place where you had to have a code to get into the bathroom at McDonald's. I go over there, I punch the code in the door, and this woman jumps up off the toilet, yells at me in some foreign language, grabs the handle of the door, and slams the door. There's only one toilet. It's not like it doesn't take you into the men's or the ladies and multiples. It was like, what the hell? If you didn't grow up in New York City, or you never visited New York City, didn't have relatives, you would not know this is the way these people live. And it's totally foreign to me. So it doesn't even have to be about race. But for somebody who's watching a story, they may not know that that's the way they do things there. So these guys were waiting. And when I got in line with my two sons, and we had our receipt with our code. A bunch of people came in off the street and got in line behind us because they didn't want to buy no damn sandwich or coffee or something. They just wanted to use the bathroom. And there's no public restrooms in New York City unless you want to go on a tree in Central Park, I guess.
Oh, but you can't do that because then they give out tickets and fines for that.
All right. Ellis, why don't you tell us about your shows, man? What do you got going on these days? What are you up to?
Oh, well, I've got a big show coming on tonight about 9 o'clock.
All right.
I've been working on this one for probably close to a month now.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's going to be huge, and you are all invited.
You said 9 o'clock Eastern time tonight, or what?
9 o'clock Eastern tonight, yes.
Cool. Awesome.
Be looking in your emails and your gun channels messengers, because some of you might get a surprise link to the chat. Stop in and say hi. It's going to be very interesting. We have probably no real topics going on at all. Just free for all, basically. But
it's almost like an Ellis gangbang, if you will.
Yes, an Ellis gangbang.
Okay.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I've seen personalities. It's going to be loud. It's going to be obnoxious.
Are we having like a house party or something? I mean, do I need to go pick something up before I come over, or what?
You got to get that kid and play haircut going. You got to get that fade.
God, it's kind of hard for me to do that. Yeah. Go get my high top fade.
Like I said, that show's been in the works now for a little over a month. Now Monday night I'm doing an interview with Alan B. Pro. So
the pizza man himself.
The pizza bandit, the pizza purchaser.
So you guys stay tuned for that, and we will keep you informed of what else happens.
Cool.
We're going to get Matt back on the show eventually.
There we go, Mr. Matt. It's Mr. to you, buddy.
Hey, he ain't Mr. to me. He will always be never enough ammo. Damn it.
Oh.
Yo, C3PO.
Oh, God. All right, so let's just get into a general gun chat here. So right now, let's just run this through the panel. Have you purchased anything lately in terms of firearms, or what are you looking at buying? I got a little show and tell I got lined up here I want to go through, but we're going to start with you, Matt. We saw you got the Mosin barrel. That's your little project you got going on. Are there any other firearms that you're looking at purchasing right now? Anything you're interested in picking up, or
I don't know. I haven't seen anything lately that really tickles my pickle. I want to get the Mosin finished up. I got some parts I got to order and do some stuff with that. I don't know. I was thinking about putting together another AR, but I've already got 4 of them at this point, and and that's after selling 2 of them over the last couple years.
Yeah.
I've been thinking that AKs are great. I've got a couple of those now. Don't really need that. I don't know. Nothing's blown up my skirt lately.
Yeah.
I don't know. It usually takes something to just come along and go, oh, I need that. That's how I end up with a lot of my guns. That's how I ended up with my 4570, with my Taurus Judge, I would just stroll across it for a good price or something and go, well, I just have to have that. And I jump on it. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of like there hasn't really been anything that's new that's come out that's really grabbed our attention. I get excited whenever I see the classic firearms videos show up on my feed, and they were showing off an American, maybe Hungarian AK pistol. I don't know if you saw that video pop up recently. And I was all pumped up, and I was watching the video, and then I went to the website, and it was like $750. And they said, oh, yeah, it's an excellent price. I'm like, aren't the Dracos like $600, $650 tops? I'm looking at this thing like, what, $750? It's not like it comes with anything real exclusive. It does have a fixed foldable, I can't call it a stock because it's sold as a pistol. I guess you want to call it like a wrist support or an arm support, whatever you want to call it, arm brace. Basically, because of the way that it was fixed, you're able to fold it out and fold it in, apparently. But I'm like, man, $749, that is just insane. So one thing I will say, just if you guys are out looking for guns right now, I think that the purchasing is starting to slow down, and I usually judge it on PSA. I know this sounds kind of weird. When they start tacking on free shipping on a lot of their items, it starts popping up on their daily deals. They start throwing free shipping back down on their lowers and their uppers. and they start taking off that 5 or 10 day delay notice on their website, that might be the time to snag a gun because their prices start to back off a little bit. So if you are in the market for an AR or an AK, and you don't want to pay the shipping, or it's probably about as low as we're going to get for prices because they're slowly starting to work themselves up. Guns that were $399 are now $449, and you see stuff popping up $50, $100 here or there. So
what?
Yeah.
Yeah, as they sell less, they have to make more on each rifle. So that's when everybody wants one, when there's tons of them out there, when there's a surplus of them, they're really cheap. Once they start, once sales start dipping, the manufacturers kind of, they rein it in a little bit on how much they're manufacturing, so they don't manufacture as much. So there's not as much stock out there. So that way they make more on each rifle. They're not making as much. They don't have a surplus of, they're not spending money to manufacture as many rifles, and they're selling each rifle for more money. So and you're right. PSA is a great barometer to go by when it comes to that kind of stuff. The same way Buds is kind of a good barometer to judge online prices. They're a good barometer to judge when overall sales in the gun market are going up and down.
This is true. Matt, can you recommend, for anybody that just wants, say, an inexpensive pistol? Has your Star been pretty solid? Is it the Star?
I love it. I love it. It's great. It's fantastic.
And those are what, $300?
No, I got it for $199. Now the price is, I think I got it on sale. Regular price I think is like $230.
Okay.
Unless Classic has jacked their prices up in the last couple months. Last time I saw them, they were still. In fact, I actually saw them again. They had them posted again for $199 here a couple months ago. I got mine for the Black Friday sale last year, but I saw them again for $199. So I'm guessing no more than $250.
Yeah, they're $199 right now. The Makarovs, Bulgarian Makarovs, are $249, and that's surplus good condition. So, right now you can get one of those. You can get the Makarov for $249. You can get a Beretta 92S. Police turn in for $299. There's some really good deals in surplus guns. Polish Radon P64, which you swap out the springs and you got a decent shooter.
Yeah,
$229. Makarov M70 $249. So there's a lot of sub $300 solid.
And these are all
guns up
great
there.
guns.
Yeah,
they're fantastic. Every one of them. I've got all the ones you just mentioned. They're all fantastic guns. And as far as that Star BM, 9mm, roughly the same. If you like 1911s and you want a carry gun in 9mm, this is a no-brainer. It's $200, and it's a solid gun. It works. It
should be broken in already. You shouldn't have to worry about any kind of metal break-in on this thing. They look like they're in decent condition.
Hey,
hey,
Travis,
fantastic.
You can get a Beretta 92S from AIM Surplus for $279 right now.
So the same Italian police trade. And what's the condition on those? Are they saying good to very good?
They're just about the same as they are everywhere else.
It's not like you can't get replacement part. Who cares about the patina on the outside? As long as it's not rusted and pitted, you shouldn't.
Most of the parts you can get replacement parts for. There are seldom few parts that you can't get replacement parts for, but those are normally the parts that won't break.
Cool.
Well, internally, they're the same as a 92FS outside of the magazine.
Yeah.
The magazine release. So there's not the parts shouldn't be an issue.
Matt, I'm seeing the Star magazines available on Classic for that Star BM. Is that a?
They actually have them in stock.
Yes. Yeah, $20. At least I guess.
Oh, nice. I'll have to pick a couple up.
Because was that the one issue you had trouble finding magazines for it?
Yeah, that and both that one and the Zastava M70A, both of them, it's hard to find magazines for them.
Yeah, this is $19.99 in stock, and the grade is surplus very good.
Nice. I'll pick a couple up then.
Now, wait a minute. It says it won't function in a Star Model B or B Super. This says Star BM.
Yeah, the BM model is unique. I don't know what exactly the differences are because the Star Model B and the B Super are both full-size 1911-ish style 9mm. And for some reason, when they made the Star Model BM and they shrunk the design, they obviously did something. I don't know if it's the grip angle or what, where you would think the larger magazines would work, but it won't. It has to be specific to the Star Model BM. So.
Okay. Cool. So just want some good deals. If you're just kind of sitting around, piddling around, you're not really seeing anything that interests you, go the surplus route. And as we know, I don't think I've ever seen a surplus gun go down in price as time has progressed over the last 30, 40 years I've been looking at guns. Seriously, you're just going to see the prices, whether it's Enfield or whether it's a Mosin. You're not going to lose money on it. That's one definite thing about it. So yeah, there's some decent deal. Now, Matt, do you remember what you paid for shipping from Classic? Because they do hit you pretty hard. When you buy a rifle, it's about $30 for shipping.
When I bought I think it was it was $10 or less.
Okay, so it's not.
I out the door, it was like $210 or $209 something. I can't remember what it was.
Okay.
Oh,
cool.
Okay.
I'm wondering if they just charge you a lot because of where you're at in Nebraska, Travis.
Well, shipping a rifle through UPS. I mean, it has to go UPS or FedEx. I mean, they're going to box it. It comes in as a large package.
They shipped me 4 rifles and a box of like accessories, ammo, stuff like that for $22.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I mean, I've never ordered more than one rifle at a time, so I don't know if the $27 was a flat rate. That's what I paid for my AMD 63.
Okay. Yeah.
So I mean,
okay, folks, I'm getting out of here. It's time for this class to start. So I will fail.
Don't cheat. Don't. If I catch you cheating,
you'll have detention, young man.
Hey, real quick, what are you gonna do your actual shooting test with? What'd you bring for a firearm?
The GP 100.
Oh, that's gonna be fun, man.
I wanted something that's going to leave an impression. Something that's going to leave an impression.
They're going to feel that, especially you guys are shooting indoors. That's going to be like a little. That's like that scene from RoboCop when he's in the range, just chewing up the targets with his pistol.
Yep.
People start looking down the range. What is that guy shooting? You know,
that happened to me once when I was at the indoor range. Somebody was doing it with a 454 Casull, and we all had the RoboCop moment.
What the? Hey, Ellis, let me know if anybody has any CPX2 fails. Okay.
CPX2, great.
Keep your eyes open. Here, why don't you try this instead? Cool, man. Have fun, man. Good luck with your class. Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Right on, man.
Cool.
Y'all take care. I mean, if I can pass, Ellis has no problem.
There we go.
He'll come out of it without a Band-Aid on, too.
I went in with a Band-Aid on, so shut your mouth, Gary.
Speaking of shut your mouth, Gary Gizzard is with us, joining us from the fantastic state of Kansas. Dude, how's your morning going, man? How's your morning going?
Oh, great so far. How are you, man?
Good. You were up late last night. How late did your podcast go last night?
3.
Oh my God. I mean, it's like, we don't ever have to. You've always got a friend online. You know, you just jump onto a notification and, oh man. So tell us about your show, your programming. What can somebody expect when they sub to your channel? What do you do?
I mean, what I actually let people see, because I deleted that thing last night because it got totally out of control. But,
really? I only watched for about 20 minutes. I was sick. I was feeling awful. I was tired from being on the road.
GunTube.
Oh.
I had help with that one. But anyway, a little bit of everything. I tend to do, you know, some friendly chats and stuff like that. Typically, I'll rein it in. I like to do a little bit of the everyman opinion on pistols and stuff like that. As you know, I don't own a lot of expensive stuff. I get pretty much, there's a lot of Tauruses in there.
Yeah.
All my stuff's under $500 pretty much. So my experience with such things, just my experiences with firearms in general, and somebody who's coming into this late. I'm not a person that's had pistols my entire life. I was pretty much a grown man, and then all of a sudden decided to come into this. So my viewpoint on it's a little different than the average person. Yeah. So that's the kind of stuff. And I'm not a gun nut per se, that I know every caliber in the book and what they're used for and stuff like that. Yeah. So I'm a noob.
Question. Go ahead. Yeah.
I'm a noob. That's pretty much it.
Have you looked at the Taurus TH at all, or the G2C, or the new G2S? Have you been looking at buying any of those, or do you have a PT111 G2?
I have a PT111 G2. In fact, I was carrying it yesterday at the rally. So
how's that work for you overall? We've had several. My family's owned several. I kind of regret selling mine now.
I have never had any problem with that, and I shoot that thing like a dream. I always have.
Yeah, they do break in really well.
As far as being able to shoot at the range, that's probably my best gun.
Okay. Yeah. Now, have you done any modifications to it at all? Did you put a steel guide rod in it or anything like that?
Nope, I have not. The only bad thing about it is when you take it out, it sounds like you got a tin can in your hand because it rattles a little bit because the magazine doesn't fit real tight up in there.
I think you can put just one single little strip of electrical tape at the base of the magazine, and that'll keep it more of a flush fit, not flush fit, but for moving around.
Yeah, I've heard of people doing that, or put a little small piece of rubber gasket around there so it fits up a little tighter. But I don't know. It doesn't bother me. It's just a sound effect as far as the pistol.
My 809 does the same thing.
Yeah.
The one I keep in my vehicle, and it does the exact same thing. And I did exactly what you're talking about. I went around twice the base of the magazine with electrical tape, and just cause, I mean, it shoots fine. I took it to the range. I left it like that for the first couple months I had it. Shoots great, no issues whatsoever. But yeah, you got that rattle that some of those Tauruses had. Now their older ones, their 24/7s never had that issue, and the PT-111 I used to have never had that issue, but this one does.
Cool, man. Let's see. So, Gizzard, are there any guns that you're looking at buying right now? Anything that you're kind of interested in, or anything that's caught your attention right now, surplus or otherwise? What are you looking at?
Yeah, I saw one of those stars in my LGS last weekend. I was thinking seriously about picking it up, but a little on the high side, you know, for what you guys are telling me you picked them up for. Seemed like it was close to $300.
Oh no, you'd be looking at $200 from classic, and then $10 for shipping, and then whatever your FFL transfer fee is, $25, $30, $20. You know, so under $250, you can have a nice solid surplus, you know, single stack.
So anything over that pass is what you're telling me.
Well, but now hang on, because you know you got to take into consideration if that's one that they purchased, does it come with any extras? Is that one that somebody had? Maybe they have extra magazines for. You know, maybe it's on consignment. Maybe it's, you know what I mean? They're like my Makarov. I could have gotten cheaper online, but I bought it at my local gun shop because it came with 4 extra magazines.
Oh yeah.
It came with you know, the holster. It came with a lot of extras and stuff. So I paid $300 for it at my gun store. So sometimes it can be worth it depending on, you know, what you're talking about. So if it comes with a holster and maybe an extra magazine or two, that's you know, that's worth an extra $20, $30 right there. So, I mean, you know, just kind of judge it, but and remember that it's there. You don't have to do anything online. It's maybe you're paying an extra $20 for the convenience of being able to hold
exactly
it.
How it's going to show up. You can check the barrel. You can make sure it, you know, functions.
So, I mean, it could be worth it, you know, depending, you know, relatively speaking. It just depends.
Yeah. Well, I'll go back by this morning and take another look.
Cool. Yeah, that'd be just, I mean, for somebody who's looking for a little Kimber compact carry, not that I'd ever buy one, but you get the same platform, same style gun, or a SIG or whatever, the little 9mm.
Except one that doesn't suck,
or one that's a lot cheaper.
You get one that's about 1/5 the price, and it doesn't suck. So there you go.
Cool.
Exactly, man. All right, Night Strike. What about you? Are you in the market for any firearms? Anything caught your attention lately? What are you thinking?
No, I am tapped out entirely. I'm not buying any new rifles or handguns this year.
Now, have you received your concealed carry permit yet?
I'm still waiting in the mail.
8 weeks?
They are ridiculously slow. It's like it's 90 days from when you send it.
Oh my God, 12 weeks. Good Lord, man. So you're only about a little halfway through that venture. 8 weeks in, is that right? 9 weeks in?
Something like that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, when you get it, man, you should be all set. So that'll be cool. That'll be good.
Yep, hopefully.
All right, moving down the line. Squibby, what about you? You in the market for anything right now?
I'm not really in the market per se. I mean, last year and the year before, I spent a small fortune on firearms, and I made sure the bills got paid and other things got taken care of. But I'm kind of right now. I'm debating whether or not to put more into, you know, either gun purchase or more reload stuff or something like that, or whether or not to just take care of, you know, fixing up some stuff and that sort of thing. If I do get a firearm, I'm really torn. I've been torn for a while because what I'd like to do is I'd like to get a single action clone. However, that's not what's on the list of things that could possibly get banned. I mean, I'm not really worried about it in my state, but the way things are going,
yeah,
you know, you gotta go get the tactical garbage first, and it's like it's not that I don't like that stuff. It's just, okay, I've got plenty of it, or I'm not in the market for, or anything that I really want is way out of my price range, or, you know, Hill and Mac still dragging their butt on that STG clone, so forget them, whatever. So I'd really like to get a revolver, and I know that's spending money. If I decide to take money out of the that I could be using to sink into fixing a vehicle or update my computer or something like that, getting that may not be the smartest move long term. But it's just, that's something I don't have that I'd like to get.
Yeah. I know, I hear you, man. I'm going to be dropping about $1,000 into my Jeep, tires, shocks, rear leaf springs, and it's like, oh man, it could be so other things I could be doing with that, but you got to have a functional vehicle, you got to have a safe vehicle.
Right,
so,
right.
And
what do you do? It's that time of the year I'm getting the bike back out on the road and stuff like that.
Yep.
I'm thinking I need to be responsible before I have fun, but I don't know. If I was at the gun store and they had a single action clone there that I liked, it looked good. I got to handle it, and it seemed to be, it was calling my name. I might just go, oh, the heck with it, you know.
Yeah.
Do it. Peer pressure. Do it.
Just go ahead and buy one.
It's always going to be there because that's not one of the ones they want to ban. And then, and it's kind of like, do I need to run out and buy another AK or another AR? Or
no, you need a single action 45 long Colt in your life, just like I do. That's one that's been on my list for a long time. And now that Fear the Walking Dead is cool again, and one of the main characters uses a single action, then I must have one. So
I like that show, but I really have trouble understanding that guy. Okay, man. My West Texas interpretation is not good. So
I don't know.
He's kind of sling bladey, sort of, when he's talking.
I caught everything he said.
Anyway, he kind of reminds me of somebody from like King of the Hill.
I don't know if I buy into the whole TV show, movie, gotta have it thing. I mean, my avatar is Josie Wells, and I wanted a walker. I wanted a walker before I realized or found out that those were a pair of walkers that I always thought they were 1851 Navies that he was carrying. That shows you how close I was paying attention. And I wanted a walker way before I knew that's what the character carried in the movie. I mean, I'm not going to say that it doesn't influence me at all, but I guess for me, if it's cool and it's in a TV show or a movie, it's not really relevant.
I mean, for me, the way I look at it is this. Okay, I've got my defensive firearms. You know, I've got those. I've got my guns that I carry. I've got the gun that I keep at home. All right. I've got my, God forbid we go to war guns. Right?
Yeah.
I've got those too.
Yeah.
And then outside of that, the guns I buy are because I think they're cool for some reason or another. I love milsurp guns. I love that kind of stuff, so I buy those. You know, I like The Walking Dead. I bought a Taurus Judge when I saw that Daryl had one last season on The Walking Dead. That's why I went and bought it. You know, same thing. I see this stuff. It's cool. I like the Berettas because I grew up watching 80s action movies. You know,
I watch those action movies too, but the reason I've got an M9 is because that's what I carried in the military. It's the same reason I got an AR-15, was as close as I could get to the M16 I qualified with. If it wasn't so expensive and such a pain, I would get an M60, not because full auto is cool, because it's just way too expensive to operate. It's because I also carried one of those. So for me, it's, you know, I like the milsurps because of the history. I mean, we're all into it for different reasons. If you're if you make a decision based on something you saw on a TV show or movie, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying it just, but that doesn't.
That's what motivates you.
You know, the whole single action thing. Yeah, I don't have anything chambered in 45 long Colt, and I'm kind of I'd like to start reloading that and the whole 9 yards. But I want something that's somewhat historically accurate. I mean, I'm just you know, another thing, Matt, that Smith & Wesson, that new 380 they got, the Easy.
Oh, the Easy. Yeah. My cousin bought one of those for his wife. She absolutely loves it because she doesn't have a tremendous amount of hand strength for manipulating a firearm. She shoots it well. She absolutely thinks it's great. Yeah,
I got to handle one at the range last week. I didn't shoot it, but I lined up the sights and whatnot. The thing's lightweight. The sights are pretty good. The thing is, the model I want is the one that got recalled.
Yeah, they've got, if you shoot too heavy of a round through it, it causes the safety to come on.
Yeah, so I don't know about that. The other one that
they'll fix it. I mean, it'll be set so that it won't happen. I mean, you just got to send it in. I mean, there's so many guns that have had recalls and what repairs they've had to have done to it. It happens, you know.
Yeah. So I mean that new Smith is something I've considered. Although the revolver would probably I think I'd rather get that. The other one is the the Security 9.
Yeah, the Ruger. Those are cool.
I have not. Both the locals that would carry it are both out of stock. So
yeah, that's those Security 9s. I've seen them. Well, I think SS Pawn has one in Lexington for $300, or he had one for $300, maybe even less. I mean, they're nice. They you should not pay more than like $320, $325 for one if you find one. They're about Glock 19 size, but they fit the hand really well. I mean, you see one in person, it seems like a fairly solid build pistol. I mean, I was watching, I think Mac just tested one over on Military Arms channel not too long ago. He did a little range test with one. I don't believe he had any issues with it at all. And they make them with or without the safety too. If I'm not mistaken, I think you can get them either or it's made without.
They make them without a safety? A Ruger without a safety? What?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they make that one without the. See, they also do that for the Ruger American pistol. They make them with and without a safety also.
I am thoroughly shocked.
I'm pretty sure. You guys can fact-check me on that, but I thought they made two models. Especially, I'm pretty sure they made two, one with and one without.
You know what though? You can have your opinion based on your experience, and you can have your opinion based on what people say. I mean, if I went off of what people say, I wouldn't like Taurus, but I've shot 3 or 4 of them, and I haven't had any issues. And I'm
Taurus
like,
is one of those. Taurus is like an internet. It's one of those. Well, I heard it on the internet, so it must be true. And people repeat the same story 500 times, even though most of the people that repeat it have never actually owned a Taurus.
Now, Matt, here's the big thing, and I'm not gonna argue with you. I love my Taurus pistols, but a lot of people watching my Taurus videos are complaining about them going to a 1-year warranty, and that's pushing them away because they're worried that that gun's gonna last a year, and then after that, it's gonna fall apart. The quality control's gonna go down.
How many other manufacturers have only a 1-year warranty, though?
I thought even Glock does, don't they? But I mean, a lot of the ones I've seen are 3 to 5.
But the thing is, they say that, but you take any defect, manufacturer's defect, to any gun company. I mean, Ruger's notorious for like not having a warranty, right? For a long time. Have they changed that yet?
Tony,
somebody may have told me they changed that.
I thought Ruger's had at least. I thought they came with at least a year. I'd have to look on my boxes for mine, but
I can't remember what it was. But you know, but any manufacturer's defect when it comes to a gun company, you send that back to them, they're gonna fix it. Okay, it's a gun. They don't want to be liable for anything having any problems. You know, if you can show them that this was not you broke your gun, but there is a problem here. I've owned this for 1.5 years, and the you know, I don't know what you know the trigger broke in half or the hammer fell off or so, you know what I mean? They're gonna fix it. Now, I don't like that Taurus went to a 1-year warranty either. I mean, that was one of the selling points that got people to buy it in the face of internet chatter calling it a piece of shit. You know?
Yeah.
People would go, well, at least it's got a warranty, and then they would get it and they would love it, and then they wouldn't care about the warranty. I don't know what the thought process is behind that. I don't know.
I think Taurus is behind on their repairs because I'm hearing some horror stories about their return time on their firearms.
Well, let me ask you this, Travis: has it changed your opinion? Would you put off the purchase of a Taurus now because of the changes? I
held the Taurus TH. I did a quick little review video on it. It looked solid. It felt solid. I didn't shoot it, but it didn't look any different than what I was seeing with the 809 or the polymers seemed exactly the same. The finish looked just as good. You got Mech-R magazines now. I mean, it felt fine. It didn't feel sloppy in the action or anything like that. So I personally, no, I would still
their policy
change
or their backlog of repairs is not going to affect your decision.
I've never had to send one in for repair, but I mean, I'm sure if I did, it would be. I mean, I've had a lot of people complain about having to wait for a part, or like the one major complaint that people have about Taurus guns is the mags. But you should kind of do some research before you buy a pistol. Are there any aftermarket magazines available for that gun? If there aren't any, nobody makes one. You can't find one anywhere. Maybe you shouldn't buy that pistol. If that's an issue you're going to have, if you want to buy it for competition or a 3-gun or something, and you can't get magazines, or if you can find them from the factory, they're $60. I don't think people take that into consideration, because I've had a lot of people screaming about not being able to find 809 mags. I found them in Tulsa, but they're $45 a pop, and they were used. Yeah. So, you know, I don't know.
I want to know, are the people who are complaining about how long it takes to get their gun back from the manufacturer for a warranty, or your gun back from a gunsmith, are they the people that only own one gun? I mean, seriously.
Well, I've got a few people. There's 2 or 3 people that sent their old Gen 1 24/7 pistols in for the factory repair, and they've been waiting like 4 months to figure out what Taurus is going to do about it. A few people
but
have
in
said
the meantime, they've
in.
got something else they can carry, they can shoot, right?
You know, right? I mean, but I don't know what the average return time is. I sent in a high point to get it fixed. I broke my 45 disassembling it because I didn't know what I was doing. The instruction manual, it doesn't have pictures. It's a little hard to follow. I couldn't find a decent YouTube video on a high point 45 disassembly. This was many years ago. I sent it in. Within 12 days after sending it in, it had been repaired. They sent it back with an extra magazine, and they gave me a full illustrated color disassembly instruction manual with the gun, and that was all free. I paid $25 to send the gun in. I had to pay shipping on it, but it was covered. It was totally taken care of.
Right.
Now, one thing I want to say here, I want to make a plug. SS Pun is in the chat right now. He is a Davidson's gun distributor, and you guys know you can go to galleryofguns.com or look up the Gun Genie. If you buy a gun through them and you buy it through a Davidson's distributor, that gun is covered for life through Davidson's past the manufacturer warranty. So that's something to consider. And you are buying local when you buy it. You know, you buy that gun online, it's going to give you a list of distributors that are official Davidson's distributors. And generally, there's no FFL transfer fee because they're already getting special pricing from Davidson's, or they're setting the pricing. So they're setting their price difference with Davidson. So consider going that route. If you want to get a Taurus, just go to Gallery of Guns and look up a local distributor, buy it online. It goes to them. You finish the process through them, and you're good to go. So that's something to consider too. They do have a warranty that covers the gun. And I don't know if you're going to get that service anywhere else. If you bought it through Buds or Classic Firearms, I don't think you're going to get anything more than just the manufacturer warranty. Not that you shouldn't contact them if you have problems, but it's just been interesting with that 1-year warranty. A lot of people have been saying, oh, I'm going to go this route because of this or that route, or, oh, I don't care, I'm going to 12 Tauruses and I'm going to keep buying them. I didn't see any difference in the quality. In fact, I think if anything, the G2C that I held and the Taurus TH seemed like fairly well-assembled guns. I mean, I didn't notice any difference in the other Taurus pistols that I own. So I'd probably still buy one unless there's something else I can get for $300 that's going to be an equivalent pistol. Can I get another 17+1 pistol or 18+1 pistol for $300? You know, semi-automatic.
Well, I mean, what about when you buy a used firearm? There's no warranty at that point, right?
Oh, yeah, no, I bought an SD9 VE used for $225 or $200, and it's fine. It runs fine. No issues with it at all. And in fact, I wanted something that was maybe a little broken in because I had an SD9 VE a couple years prior that had return to battery issues and FTE issues. So, you know, I mean, I just took a chance and bought it. Yeah, you're not going to be getting a warranty if you ever buy a used gun. Nobody seems to complain about that. So I don't know.
Well, that was one of the big deals about.
Yeah,
I was gonna say that was one of the big deals about Taurus too, right? Is their warranty covered the gun, not the individual who bought it. It didn't ever have to be registered.
It was a transferable. It wasn't a limited lifetime.
Yeah,
it was a transferable lifetime.
Yeah, it didn't matter who owned that gun 20 years from now. You know, you could still send it into Taurus and get it fixed if it had a problem. And I think that more than the length of time, I think was the cool thing. You know, was that I don't have to be the original person that bought it and registered it and sent in my, they just acknowledge, oh, you own one of our guns and it broke? Yeah, let us fix it for you.
You know, High Point and Sky do the exact same thing, which is really cool.
Yeah, I think Smith & Wesson does too, don't they?
I don't know. I need to look in the boxes on my pistols. My SD9 VE, I need to find the original box. Dave, if you go online, we could look it up. I'm some gun manufacturers. I'm like, I think Beretta might be, or my car has got a 5-year. Car CT9 has a 5-year warranty on it. I remember seeing that in the manual when I looked it up. But Sean Ponnery is joining us. Sean, how are you doing, man?
The Oracle.
The man is here.
I'm here.
Yeah. So what's new in your world, man? Have you picked up any firearms lately? Are you contemplating purchasing anything new?
Mainly just outfitting the ones I've got. Like, I've got that infield all finished up except the handguard now. It's all cleaned up, got ammo, got my die sets, got my sling.
You already got the dies for it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Aren't you
excellent.
still looking for that Vitali?
What was that?
Aren't you still looking for that Vitali or whatever it is?
I need...
Arcana?
Yeah. I actually found one Vitali at Wanamaker, and I'm kicking myself for not buying it now. And then yesterday, Raphael told me right before he left, he saw a second one for even less. I'm like, yeah, thanks for that.
Well, you weren't there the second day, Sean. You were only there for the first day.
Yeah. He said he saw it on the second day for $60 less than the first one. I'm like, man, I could have bought that.
Did you get a set of the Lee Pace Setter dies for it?
Yeah, it's got the full length resizer and everything.
Okay, yeah.
Although it has a die I've never seen before. Let me see if I can grab it real quick.
So that's an Enfield 303. Did you buy it? Was it a number 4 Mark 1 or a number 1 Mark 3? What was your model that you bought? Number 1 Mark 3?
It's a number 1 Mark 3 grenade firing. So it's got the copper banding around it and the Whitworth bolt through the receiver to strengthen it up. But the nice thing is it's a later model. It's not a World War I model. It's a 17 pattern, but the thing is this one was built in 1964. And at first I was kind of bummed out. You know, I started cleaning the receiver. I started seeing numbers. I'm like, ooh, I finally get to see what year it was made in. And it said 1964. I'm like, aw, kind of bummed out. And I did a little bit of more research on it, and I found out that this is actually better off because I could fire Mark 7 ammo through this thing all day long. The later models were all heat treated. The barrels, the receivers, the bolts, everything was heat treated. So the original ones, original GS, were typically shot out barrels that they just threw back into service with blank cartridges and grenade cups and flat base Mills bomb grenades. And what they were finding out is soldiers were getting killed because they couldn't shoot back at the enemy unless they just used grenades. You know, they'd have a wildly inaccurate gun. So then later on, they decided, you know what, we're just going to go ahead and keep the barrels that are in good shape. And they took the older rifles that were still in, shootable condition, and they put the cups on those, and they kept splitting stocks. So then they wrapped them with the copper, they put the bolt through it, and they still had a decent barrel on it. So that way the soldier could still defend himself. But they stamped EY on the side of the receiver, and on the stock, and on the barrel, and on the front sight, and on the cup. And a lot of people didn't know what that meant. EY was actually a code for emergency use only, because even though you can fire Mark 7 ammo through it, feeding it a healthy diet of that will wear that barrel out really quickly. So they didn't have a lot of Mark II ammo left to give these guys. That's why they just stamped EY and said, do not shoot this rifle unless you absolutely have to save your own life. And this one doesn't have any of those markings because it's all heat treated. I can shoot modern ammo through it all day long. Good stuff. It's an India-built Ishapur Mark III, and the sights were good. The rifling on it, I put a picture on my Instagram. Everyone thought it came out really good, but that rifling is super sharp. And it wasn't a wartime production, so it actually had 5-groove rifling instead of like 2-groove. So, I mean, it's pretty tight. I suspect it's going to shoot pretty well. I mean, I'd love to go out and shoot it today, but it looks like absolute dog crap outside. As for what's next, I've been pawing at and eyeballing a Browning X-Bolt rifle and 375 H&H Magnum, just so Nate's not the only one that's got one. I bet Russ Carr's got one. I don't even have to guess. I'm sure he's probably got like 2 or 3 of them, but one of those. I'm starting to put together the parts for a 224 Valkyrie 24-inch AR, and I've been catching a lot of crap for it, but I still want to get one of those Smith & Wesson 380 EZs because I've run out of starter pistols for new shooters.
See, it's not just me.
I don't particularly mind that gun. I've already played with one at the shop, and it is ever so slightly larger than a shield, so it's not gonna like run away from you like a shield does. Like I had a 40 Smith & Wesson shield, and the size was great, but for a new shooter, that first shot, it's gonna hop out of your hand, like halfway out of your hand. This one's got a slightly thicker grip, and it's slightly longer. So, I mean, it's going to feel somewhere between compact and subcompact, but the slide's easy to manipulate. It's got a magazine that reminds you of like a 22 long rifle, where it's got the follower you can grab with your finger and pull down. So I figured, you know, I don't mind 380. They make okay defensive loads for it, and my old man's got kind of failing physical strength, and he can shoot it. So if I take out a new shooter or take out like old people or whatever, you know, that's the first gun I'll put in their hand. I'll be like, here, try this. Get them started that way. Don't give them something that's too small, too snappy, too slick, you know. Figured it'd be a good choice. And they're not that expensive. You can pick up one for like $350. So
that's right, man. I'm in the market for an Enfield. I'd love to pick one up. I think they'd be awesome. I mean, the problem I'm running into is, you know, they're slowly starting to creep up in price too. And, you know, what was a $275 gun a couple years ago is now $550, depending on the lineage.
Yeah.
I love the little pug nose, the Series 1, #1 Enfields. I just think they look awesome. That would definitely be one of the surplus guns I want to try to pick up. But again, it's one of those things where I'd hate to buy one online because you don't get to see it in person. Hoping I can pick one up at Wanamaker next November.
Yeah.
Or next spring when they have the show again too. So yeah.
My goal for November is to get a long Lee, the previous model, the really long one, #4 Mark I, which I've got a local that's selling one for $250, so I'll probably get it locally, and then a jungle carbine. I've got like this collective personality, so if I get one, I have to have like a bunch of the same kind. It's a different series, so I'll probably get all 3 of those, and then I'm definitely going to get a Vitale this time. I'm not going to walk out of there without one, especially after I found a company that makes a die set for it. So I'll be able to fire.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a company. I got the link on my computer. I'll share it with you later.
That'll be awesome, man. That'll be good.
And I think you have to use either 20. I think it's 20 gauge brass shotgun hulls. You can just resize them. It's either that or you can use 8mm Lebel cartridges and you just resize them.
All right, and PPU probably makes the Lebel case, and then the MagTech would make the brass shotgun hulls.
Cool.
Very cool. There are options.
Yeah.
I got seduced by a 577 450 Martini Henry too. It's just I don't know if I'm willing to put that much work into loading one of those. It's a lot of work. I saw Eric do it, and I know it's kind of like mouse milking. You know, it's a lot of work for not a lot of yield. And
yeah, I've been sitting on mine for 4.5 years and still haven't made one round for it.
I kicked the crap out of myself because a friend and I were bidding on a greener converted Martini Henry. It had a bull barrel and a Frisian stock, and it was chambered in 4570. And apparently it was not a super common, but it was a common conversion for like stalker hunters or whatever. And we bid it up to about $650. This thing was worth like $2,000 easily. I mean, it was mint, super mint. And we dropped out, and the next bid won it at like $625. I'm like, oh man, we missed out on that. That's my perfect Martini Henry. Is a 4570 greener converted one. That way I can load for it all day long and still have that interesting action for it. That, and I can't afford the harpoon gun.
Yeah. Just real quick, a couple things I want to address. There's a lot of chat going on. Yoder Texas is talking about this. The rules with YouTube gun linking your videos to gun stores and stuff like that. As we saw, you know, Matt got his strike from just simply talking about 5 places where he likes to buy guns. You mentioning SS Pawn. I'm not putting any direct links in the videos. There's nothing you can click on that'll take you to a direct link. Yoder's got some pretty good points he's making on the internal chat. I'm not, you know, I'm simply talking about what they have. In my opinion, I'm not doing anything different than what Classic Firearms is doing right now. They're showing you guns they have in stock. They're talking about them. They're showing them off. They're explaining quantities and grade qualities, but they're just not giving you a link to buy direct. You have to go to the website manually and you have to type in what you're looking for. So if I get a strike on one of my SS Pawn videos, it would just be because, just like Matt, it's just somebody struck it down for whatever reason, you know. And that the language on gun sales and direct gun sales and YouTube videos, that can be interpreted a lot of different ways. So anyway, yeah. A couple things though. There's Stocklock is out there on the chat. If you guys are watching the comments and stuff, he's critical of my videos. He's a big Glock fan. I respect that. You know, he doesn't like the fact that I show off Taurus guns or talk about Taurus guns, and that's fine if you're loyal to one brand. I respect that. I'm just glad you're a gun owner like anybody else. But one thing about SS Pawn, and I've always said this since day one, I get guns from Stan's private collection, nothing out of the store inventory. I take them out and shoot them. You've seen them fail. You've seen me have issues with them. You've seen me shoot them like crap and shoot them well. I clean them and give them back. That's it. And then in return, I just let people know that, hey, Stan's got a good business. And you can call him and ask his prices. You'll see that he is very fair on prices. You know, if you go to Gun Genie or Gallery of Guns, you know, you can say he's one of 2 gun vendors in town. I don't have a lot of choices. It's that or I go to Cabela's and pay full retail price. I'd rather support the small business. So, you know, I'm going to defend SS Pawn. I don't get paid by him. I just get to borrow his guns and go shoot him. That's it. So, you know, of course, I'm going to say, hey, he's got this gun in the inventory. Check it out. It looks cool. You know, I'm just showing off something out there. You don't want to buy it. You don't have to. You can go someplace else if you want to. So, Stocklock, do understand he does sell Glocks. In fact, I just bought a G17 Gen 4 from him 2 weeks ago. And you know what? I got a price that was about, I paid $534 out the door with tax and the little processing fee of $5 or $6 from Davidson's. I can't get a Glock 17 Gen 4 anywhere else for that price. And I shopped local, supported the little guy, and got a good price. So, you know, he's going to push other brands because in his store, you see this in a lot of gun stores, the biggest sellers for handguns are the sub $350 pistols. You sell a lot of those. There's somebody that comes in there that wants something for self-defense. They got $300 in their pocket. They might buy a Ruger 9E. They might buy an SD9. They might buy a used revolver, like an expensive revolver. You know, he carries a variety to kind of match the price point of our area. We don't have a lot of people that have a ton of money. So you don't see any HKs in the case. You do see the occasional SIG pop up, the occasional Beretta. So he's just matching the price point, and that's it. He does carry Glocks too, so I don't know what. You know, Stocklock gets pretty passionate about his comments, and again, I respect that. He gives me good feedback, and I get it. And he does listen to my comments too. So he's saying a few things in the chat over there. So, you know, I'm not saying we need to be nice, but at the same time, he's got a strong opinion, and I respect that. And like I said, again, you're a gun owner. I'm a gun owner. I'm happy about that. And Yoder, you know what, Yoder, at this point, Yoder, I'll take a chance. Who knows? My tactical tuna video will probably get struck down because I got a cat on my counter walking across as I'm opening up a package of tuna and there's a gun sitting off to the side. So I'm expecting my dumbest video to be the one that gets the strike. I could care less. I could care less. You know what? Because it's going to happen when you least expect it. It's going to happen to all of us that have gun channels at some point. I don't expect to be on YouTube in 5 years anyway. I could care less. So whatever happens, happens. You know? Hey, all my videos are right here. Okay? I can upload them elsewhere. That's it. Nice. It might take me some time. I don't care, right? So whatever, you know, I'm not going to blatantly go do something to break the rules on YouTube, but whatever, you know, I've been watching, you know, I see my videos get demonetized like everybody else. I've seen the increase in the regulations popping out. I've seen videos get flagged, you know, whatever, you know, it's their game. I'm just playing by it as long as I can until they boot me out. So whatever, I don't care. So there was a comment that was made in this podcast earlier. Somebody said, hey, I think it was Scott Pacini. Can you ask Stan, or not Stan, I'm sorry. Can you ask Matt what he thinks about the Midland shotgun? And it's funny that that you would say that because I just happen to have one right here. Matt has left. Maybe Matt will come back in and tell us about his experiences. I actually did an unboxing video of this last night. Didn't even get it uploaded yet because it was pretty late. So this is the Midland shotgun. I'm going to talk about this a little bit. This is the 18.5-inch barrel version. I put the stock on. I put the extra shell carrier going on. We got some double-aught buck. They didn't have the military-grade double-aught buck in stock at Walmart where I normally get the ammo, so I just bought Suprema shotgun shells. They're Suprema. They're made in Spain. I've never actually tried them before. I have no idea how well they're going to work. Again, brake action. Pull the lever right here. Brakes open. Clear. And you don't have an ejector, you just have an extractor. This little guy was $138, and I bought it from Bud's. Then I paid my transfer fee when I had it delivered. You got a milled steel receiver. You've got a barrel that's drilled out from a solid blank. One complaint about it, the trigger pull is about 8.5 pounds, so it's not a precision shotgun. You know, it's just going to be a nice little camping gun. So I haven't fired it yet. I'll report on it. I actually took the spacers out of the rear stock, and that'll shorten up the overall length about 2.5 inches. When it's folded in half with the spacers in it, it measures 21.5 inches long, and that's it. And the gun weighs like 4.5 pounds dry. Now, granted, I've got the extra shells on it in the sling, so it adds a little bit of weight to it. But you got the Beretta choke tubes it takes up in the front. What's cool about this is you can put a 18.5, 22, 24, 26-inch barrel on it. They're going to start selling the barrels separate, so I can change calibers if I want to. They're going to start selling centerfire rifle barrels with, I would imagine, some kind of a rail on the top for an optic. I don't know how that's going to work, or maybe a built-in iron sight. They're going to sell those for $109. And the grip panels are interchangeable. You can get different color grip panels for the stock and the forend, which are not out yet. All this stuff is coming out in June of 2018. So, but again, I bought this. This wasn't given to me or anything like that. I bought it out of my own pocket. It does have a cool little cocking indicator right here, little nub that you can check to see a tactile cocking indicator to tell that it's actually loaded. I wish it had a hammer, but it doesn't. Oh, it's got a little notch right here on the rear of the receiver, and you can use that to line up the front brass sight to see what it looks like. So it's pretty cool. It comes with a modified choke tube. So I wanted to show it off, and I bought this because Classic had them for like 3 weeks, and at the time I think I just bought an AR pistol, so I wasn't in the market for this. I wanted one. And then they sold out for about 2 months. And then I got a notification 2 weeks ago that they got them back in, or 3 weeks ago. I ordered it right before Wanamaker. Excuse me. And so I went ahead and got it, and I've been really happy with it. Now, one thing you need to know about it, because this might pop up in the comments, it is actually manufactured by Con Arms in Turkey. I did not know that at the time. I thought Midland manufactured it here in the U.S. So I bought a Turkish gun. I don't generally buy firearms that support terrorism. One thing I'm going to say about Con Arms, and before you rip me, and I'll talk about this in my unboxing video, Con makes guns for Weatherby, Mossberg, TriStar, and they export to 40 different countries. So I don't see any countries on the bandwagon to, want to ban their guns, or I don't hear any Mossberg fans screaming and hollering about that. I don't hear any Weatherby fans screaming about supporting a terrorist government. So, I mean, I'm never going to go out and buy a Canik. I've got nothing against the SAR guns and stuff. I generally try to buy guns that are, because you're going to have people say, you're supporting terrorism. Well, it happened. I didn't know. I already took delivery of the gun. And when I started reading an article about it from some shooting magazine that I had recently, it said, oh, yeah, it's manufactured in Turkey. So, what do you do? I guess I'll say one thing to those people that are critical of me buying a Turkish-made gun. Let's just think about what goes into this thing being made, or your iPhone, what people get paid that put these together, the kind of conditions they work in, or the crap that gets, produced for making the batteries for it. So not to go on a little eco rant, but I'm just saying, kind of take a look at yourself before you criticize somebody else. But yeah, otherwise, that is the little show and tell that I have lined up. Let's see, anybody else in the market for anything new? Texas Merce, real quick, what are you looking at right now? You got any guns kind of on the radar right now? Anything you're really interested in?
Well, not really, because I've been not really looking to since I'm paying out of pocket for school. I'm not wanting to but I have everything I need right now. I got a carry pistol. My wife has a carry pistol. I got a school carry. I got an AR-15. But I mean, once I start a job, definitely I would like something maybe like CZ75 tactical looking thing, like a nice tactical.
Or the SP, like a Phantom defense. Or something. Yeah.
Put a
suppressor on there.
Put a suppressor. Exactly. But I'll have to go in just a little bit because I got to study for a final. But thanks for having me.
Hey, no problem, man. Thanks for joining in. It's been kind of a little busy morning, a lot of chat going on and stuff. It's been good having you here. So, hey, man, just get your bucket list going, because once you get that medical job, then you can start working on that, couple guns a year purchase to put in the safe. It's one of those I have arrived moments that you can have. So, I kind of dig the that was it the SP09 Phantom in tactical gray and black or whatever. That thing just looks cool. I
like that. I was looking at that as well.
Yeah, I think everybody should have at least one CZ75 in their collection, or CZ lineage type pistol. That'd be pretty cool.
Well, we got Berettas right now, so that's our gun of choice right now. So I got to change over to you got a Glock fanboy. You got a Beretta fanboy now in your chat as well.
Oh no, that's fine. Hey, I own both, so I really can't complain. That's fine. So
Glocks.
Hey, I love that's the problem with my G17. I sold mine a year ago to my best friend's wife. And, I'd been kind of missing having one around because it's just kind of an all-around go-to. Just always works for me. I mean, you might not like the ergos on it. You might not like the looks. But it fires, and it works well. I mean, and so do my Tauruses, and so do my Berettas. I mean, it's just whatever. I mean, I think the whole point here is that we're all kind of in the same team, but a lot of us seem to have our own little nuances, our own little preferences that are out there.
Right. Everyone has their go-to and have their opinions on all the guns they have. So.
Yeah. Some people have stronger opinions than others, and I hear it in the comments all the time. So,
Well, thank you for having me again.
Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. Hey, a lot of CZ fanboys out there, self-admitting out there in the chat, and that's cool. Oh, Sean's gotta deliver the death blow. Hudson Masterpiece. Yeah. We know. I want to Walther. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm maybe thinking about going the CZ route at some point. I love the quality of their handguns. I just think they're awesome, especially the rifles. But so something I want to shift over in the discussion to is I have behind me in the gun locker, I've got a registered carbine lower, and I don't know what to put on top. So I was kind of hoping for some ideas. I was thinking, Sean, I saw you posted a comment about this earlier. 224 Valkyrie. Mm-hmm. It'll reach out to 1,200 yards and touch something, and it's inexpensive. It's like $13 for a box of 20, which is for a round that can go out to 1,200 yards. That's pretty remarkable for a ball ammo round. You can get higher grades of ammunition. Now, I was talking to Stan about this at SS Pawn about 224 Valkyrie. I was thinking about buying it for the competition. What scares us is what is a 20 or 25 mile an hour north or south wind going to do to your accuracy once you get out to 1,200 yards? Is it going to blow that round all over the place? Because we're only talking about a 90 grain round here. So that's why I don't know if I want to go. Here's the deal, guys. My budget is $500 for a full upper, including bull carrier group and charging handle. No optics, no iron sights. Throw some ideas out there. I mean, I've looked at everything from a 300 blackout, 18-inch PSA, 20-inch PSA. I'm really liking Hardened Arms. I got to handle some of their uppers at Tulsa, and I was very impressed with the quality. I got to talk to the head machinist, and he told me about what they put into their uppers. I have no experience with them. Now, Sean, I did have a negative experience with the Radical upper. I'm probably not going to buy another one. I do like Bear Creek Arsenal, but their prices are pretty much in line with PSA or Hardened Arms, which I've had good luck with PSA. So throw it out there, guys. What do you think I should do?
Wouldn't have had that Radical problem if you'd listened to me in the first place when I told you.
The funny thing about the Radical uppers, I've had their 50 Bayo and I've had their 6.5 Grendel. And what's really weird is the only problems I've ever heard with Radicals are the one caliber that they should have gotten right in the first place, which is the 5.56.
The 5.56. Yeah, it's like I bought it because it was it was super inexpensive. At the time, I think I paid $199 for it on Optics Planet without a bolt carrier group and a charge handle, and I already had one of those sitting around. I'm like, ooh, $200 upper, and I had a M-Lock rail on it and stuff, and I don't know, man. It just did not run. I tried different grain weights, and
the thing about the 224,
love for tube weight and throwing all this money in it, it wasn't worth it. So
the 224 will actually go out way past 1,200 yards. It stays supersonic to 1,200 yards. It doesn't start slowing down until 1,200 yards.
What am I looking at though for stability in the wind? That's the big one, because if I want to do this, they have this thing called the Steel Gong Challenge at the range that I shoot at, and they do it on Saturdays in the summertime. Squib, they were shooting it when you were out there. You saw the hardware these guys bring with them out to the range, and these are some serious dudes. There was probably 20 rifles lined up, and they were freaking. Most of these guns were customs. They were, they start off with a base rifle like a 700, and then they would take the barrel out and they would do whatever to it, because 6.5 Creedmoor is usually what wins it. But I want to get into it on a budget. I'd also like something that I can use on an AR platform.
Well, I mean, Eric did a long distance test on his already. He put his out to 1,200, and he didn't have any problem with it. And that farm he's on, it's in between like two valleys. So there's crosswinds all over the place. And it didn't seem to affect that pill very much. Now, once it slows down past supersonic, it might drift a bit, but you've got velocity overcoming just nature. I guess.
What people say is it's so fast, gravity's always having a pull on it, but it's so fast that gravity doesn't have time to have an effect on it. That's why now, Sean Newman is saying 224 is really expensive. Sean, it's $14 for a box of 20 for the Federal Ball Ammo 224. The uppers are $4.99 complete through PSA. So that's why. What's that?
At Christmas, Classic was, I think it was either Classic or PSA was selling 224 Valkyrie boxes for $9.
And you can go up. I've seen the tests, like some of the early tests, they had 3 different grades, 3 different grain weights. Yeah. One of them was like a precision round. The other one was kind of an intermediate, medium round. The lower one was just the ball ammo.
And it's all reloadable brass too. I mean, if you're really going to take serious competition with one of those, you're gonna hand load it for sure. You're gonna find your pet load for that barrel and your optic and your lower and your trigger group, and you're gonna go to town. So, if you see one of those deals where it's like $9 a box for Federal Premium, you're gonna buy like 20 boxes of it and have a ton of brass to play with.
Yeah, yeah, and I've got everything short of the press right now to reload. I mean, obviously I'd buy the powder that I need in the rounds, but I've got most of the equipment right here, thanks to Squib.
Any caliber I hand load, I never think about the initial layout. I'm always aware that I'm going to buy an 8-pound keg of powder, I'm going to buy a bunch of primers, and I'm going to get brass that I'm going to get my money back on after the second loading. So, I mean, I always think about the cost per round after the first reload.
Yeah.
And then, you know, is there a die set for it? Is brass, you know, somewhat accessible? It doesn't have to be like 5 brands make the brass, but if like 1 or 2 make the brass that I could still buy, or if I could buy retail brass that's reloadable, I'll do it. I mean, that's why I got into 303. Not very many people make brass for it, but there's still a couple of, you know, manufacturers. I got 200 rounds of Cellier and Belleau for $130 shipped.
Okay.
Which was not bad. And it's good brass too. So like stuff like 224, it might cost a little bit per box, but they do make deals, especially around Christmas time. You can make out like a bandit at Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the upper, I think PSA is carrying Bear Creek uppers, and they've got a 20 and a 22.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, I've seen a 24. I'm holding out for the 24, but they're all like $5.99 or $4.99.
Yeah.
I mean, you can definitely do it within your budget.
So, but wait, Bear Creek is making a 224 Valkyrie upper?
I think it's a Bear Creek. I don't think PSA is making their own.
No, PSA has an 18-inch 224 Valkyrie upper. They make 2, I think, one with M-Lock and the other one with what the hell's the other one? Help me out here. The other lock system that's out there. It's not as popular. M-Lock. Keymod. Yeah. Now, here's one. Yeah.
I'm just curious who's outsourcing it or who they're outsourcing it to, because that was a brand new caliber. I doubt they were tooled up for it on day one like they did.
I don't know, and then the fact that they would invest all that into a caliber that hasn't even launched yet in terms of popularity. So I'll look it up real quick and see what they say. Now, there is somebody posting a question in the comments. 6.8 SPC. Sean, what's your take on that?
I was a Grendel guy. So, I mean, I can't really comment on 6.8. I like 6.8 from everything I've seen about 6.8, and I've actually like fired a couple in the range. It's a great round. It really is. I think 224 is going to give it a bloody nose, though. Like, it showed up as usable competition. It really does. Wait, is 6.8 the one that you have to use an AR-10 lower for?
No, I think the 6.8 you're able to use your AR-15. You have obviously a specific upper, but you can use your AR-15 lower. But I believe you have to use a special 6.8 magazine, if I'm not mistaken. I was just looking it up this morning. I hadn't really looked into it because I was so set on 224 Valkyrie just because of what I can get out the door, you know, for I'm thinking, and here's the problem. It's like, but then part of me would like to just have maybe an 18-inch 5.56, kind of like something like what Midnight Range went with. I love the looks of that. Then part of me is thinking, well, maybe I'll go 300 Blackout because, you know, I've never fired it before. It looks like a cool caliber.
You can tell with 224 they were going after 6.8 in terms of like contracting and stuff like that, because it feeds better with a 6.8 mag, but you can use 5.56 mags in a pinch. It's sort of like my Grendel. I could feed it with 5.56 mags. I have to download it 3 rounds, but I think I was supposed to use 6.8 mags for that too. But they work, and it's like you could tell they went after a certain caliber when they designed what mag feeds it the best.
Yeah. Wait, hey, when you go over to PSA and look up 224 Valkyrie, again, in case you guys don't realize, you know, don't know what we're talking about, 224 Valkyrie was basically a long-range round that was developed to be using your existing AR-15 platform, lower components, and it's pushed by Federal. I mean, Federal, I believe, is the original manufacturer of the ammunition. I believe that they developed the cartridge, and like I said, they're selling it. That's part of the problem is a box of 20 is so cheap. I want something I can afford to practice with a lot, but I also would like to get into the whole long-range thing without having to drop $1,000 in a precision rifle. And I mean, this thing, you know, I've seen several tests on it already. I just don't know. PSA is currently selling. They have 2 different 20-inch uppers in stock, one with M-Lock and one with they're both M-Lock, I'm sorry. Both of them with the bolt carrier group and the charging handle for $4.99. They sometimes have one with the key mod that they sell too. And then they also make an 18-inch, but it's currently out of stock with an Odinworks handguard on it. And then they sell some kits. They sell a few different. They're all 1-in-7 twist. So I don't know. Just to me, it just seems like it'd be a fun round. But then again, I don't want to get something that is not going to be stable out to 1,000 yards.
See, what sold me on it is it appeared and it just eclipsed 25-45 sharps in terms of support instantly because it had a big name like Federal back it.
Yeah.
So I mean there's some marketability there just because of that. Out of the blue, new caliber, huge backing. I think it's Sammy spec'd already, right? And it's got its bragging point of, hey, we can stay supersonic out to 1,200 yards. Effective range, I think, was what, 1,800? It's kind of up there.
I've only seen tests out to 1,000 or 1,200 right now, so I'm not sure.
Because no one's got the range.
I know. Well, I do. That's just it. That's part of the problem. Is I can go out to, I don't even know what the max is, 1,800 yards on my range, if I'm not mistaken. So 2,000 if I pay extra to use the tower with the spotter.
So you might be the first guy to actually stretch its legs on one.
Tabletop review. No, I'm just kidding. Calaveras is saying, I've heard that 224 Valkyrie isn't living up to the hype and anything less than a full custom rifle. You know, a lot of it's going to depend on that barrel. I don't know. I'm gonna wait and see a few more. Watch a few more tests on it. Maybe somebody will come out with PSA and do a test on it and talk about it. But I don't know. What other options would you guys consider? Would you guys ever consider going with an SBR or SBRing your rifle?
No, pistols are too cheap to build.
Yeah.
And you know how people were talking, like, I do the CAC blades.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh my God, that thing is going to dig into your shoulder or whatever. And there's a little bit of truth to that. But the fact of the matter is, you can buy one of those shoulder strap, the thing that you Velcro or strap underneath your arm for, like, shotgun hunters and stuff. It's like a recoil pad. You can always just get one of those. That way you're not modifying your pistol in any way.
Yeah, I mean, on the other end, though, with an SBR, I'd like the convenience of having an adjustable stock and being able to put a vertical foregrip on it.
That's what makes the blade shine. It's got that.
Oh, I know. I've got a pistol with it on there, and I like it. You know, I don't know. I just was thinking because I could get myself. I'd have to go through the whole process and look into the paperwork and so on, and wait, to get the tax stamp and all that fun stuff. So that was a thought, is maybe go the SBR route. I don't know. Have you guys ever considered going like Midnight or Gizzard or Night Strike? You guys ever considered 300 Blackout or maybe going with something a little bit different for an upper than what you normally do?
Yeah, if I would ever buy, for my next upper, I'd probably do 300. I like 30 calibers. I like 30 caliber and bigger. The older I get, the bigger caliber I like. It seems like, I have my Savage is my bolt gun's a 308. Then I have the 8mm, which is really cool because that's a 32. And the AR is a 5.56. So that's cool. But I don't know, man. I like 30 caliber. I bought 5.56 because I wanted a 5.56. Because I didn't have one. But I'll be honest with you, I'm not like super excited to shoot a 5.56. It's not something that really turns me on. I figure, I'm more. Well, here's the thing. For me, I wanted it because it's a military caliber, and I think it's smart to have that.
Yeah.
But I like the extremes. Like I think I don't have one, but I think a 17 is really cool, and that's really neat because it's so tiny. And then on the other end of it, I like, I do want to get something kind of big and honking one of these days. 338 Win Mag. My father-in-law hunts with a 338 Win Mag, and I've shot that, and that's a fun rifle to shoot. So, my next upper will probably be something bigger. Possibly 300 Blackout or maybe bigger, just to have it, because it's fun.
Sean, what is your upper chambered in again? You've got 450 SOCOM. Is that what you bought?
Mine?
Yeah, your Radical.
My original Radical that I built was a 50 Beowulf, but they listed as 12.7 by 47 or whatever it is.
Okay.
Because of copyright or whatever, but it's a 50 Beowulf. I had the 16-inch, and it ran fine. I probably put 1,000 rounds through it. And my 6.5 Grendel, I probably put 2,500 rounds through it. And then one day I was at my range, and this guy saw me open my bag, and I had one lower and 3 uppers sticking out of it. And he goes, "What do you want for that?" And I made twice what I had in it right there at the range. So I sold it.
Oh my God.
I'd totally build another one. Like, that's what I was saying about Radical uppers. They make the boutique calibers well, and they make the one that they should have been able to make well, not so well.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just using old tooling or something.
For just stuff out of spec, or just things not assembled correctly, or just the quality control just must not be there on their 5.56 assembly line. I don't know. I mean, there's some people saying they've got their 762 uppers and they have no problems with them, which is good.
Yeah.
You know, so
I'm tempted to do another 50 Bayo, but I'm probably going to do a 10.5 inch pistol. And if I were to SBR anything, that would probably be the first one.
That'd be cool.
Like, if I can't manage, you know, a CAC blade on it or something, I'll SBR that one.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Just real quick, just see if there's any general Q&A out there on the viewing audience. You guys have been awesome. We got 53 people watching right now. We got 36 thumbs up. I appreciate that. 2 thumbs down. Hey, thanks. So if you guys have any general questions out there, we still got a good panel hanging out with us. It's still been with us for nearly 2 hours already. And if you guys want to ask anything, we can do that. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and call it. But I will keep you guys updated. It's going to be a little while before I get that upper. Like I said, I'm going to be dropping some money in the Jeep. That's my range vehicle, so I got to keep that running. And it's not bad, but it's just time for some new tires and some general suspension replacement parts on it and stuff. I've driven it 75,000 miles since I bought it. It's up to 197,000 miles, so she's been a good vehicle. And I'm not ready to give it up just yet. It hasn't rusted apart yet, which is good. So, yeah. All right, see if we have any questions. If not, we'll go ahead and call it. You guys have had a great chat going on over there over on the chat side. We'll see if we had anybody else join in on the gun channel side. Ohio 45 ACP was there. He said he's running a little bit late. I do appreciate that. I did forget to post on the main boards at Gun Channels that Caliber Corner was live. I did have the newest episode posted over there. I just didn't bring it to the main page. So, G-Webs, my apologies for that. But, you know, you guys got a chance to join in if you wanted to. So thanks for doing that over there on the Gun Channel side. Make sure you get over there and get your membership to gunchannels.com if you don't have one. It's an awesome community. Lots of great people out there. All the people you see on the panel here, they're over there too. You can find them, which is very cool. You guys, thanks for sticking with us for 2 hours. I'm just looking at the comments. Patrick's got 260,000 miles on his 2000 Jeep Wrangler. Yeah, man, it's just us Jeep people. I don't know what the deal is. They're just such handy vehicles. You just don't want to get rid of them. That or they just break down and die. I mean, it just happens. So you guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Let's just go ahead and run this through the panel. Any last little words of wisdom before we go ahead and call it? Gizzard Gary?
Wisdom? I'm not sure I know a lot of that, but check out my channel. Check out my website, gizzardgary.com. And as always, I appreciate the invite.
Okay, the wonderful world of Giz down in Kansas, man. And we are in Kansas now, right? We are in Kansas anymore. Yes.
That's right.
Cool, man. Cool. I appreciate you joining in this morning. Midnight Range. Hey, man, what do you want to say? Anything good? Do we have a closer coming up tomorrow night?
Yeah, actually. And what I think, we got a couple things to talk about, but I mean, with Matt having his trouble on the on his Never Enough Ammo channel, we were talking about the other night, me reading story time tomorrow night.
Ooh.
So there's a lot of people that have never heard any of them. I'm sure there's a lot of new people. So I was trying to ask Matt if he wanted to read his or Rock Humpers on my show, but I couldn't get a hold of him. I have to send him an email. But I was going to read mine too.
Cool.
And then whatever happens after that. So I thought, I got a whole bunch of new people that might like to hear it. So
so for those of you that don't know what we're talking about, months ago we had some fan fiction that was originally written by, was it Rock Humper was the first person that wrote it?
Yeah, I think it was him who started it.
And he was the muse that inspired so many other Gun Channels family members to write their own extended tales of fiction or their own episodes for the series. And it involved all of us from gunchannels.com, a lot of us that had YouTube gun channels going on, and Matt would narrate them and would entertain us. And there were some absolutely fantastic moments. It's called SHTF Storytime. And I'm still waiting for them to get published. I really think we should put them up on Amazon so that we can get them published. I want the ebook on my wife's Kindle. Let's just make this happen. Might need a proofreader first.
You can listen to it on your way to work then.
Heck yeah. Have it narrated by like Samuel Jackson or something.
There you go.
But yeah, so if you're going to do that, that'll be cool. So we can expect that. Are you not going to invite guests so you can just do the reading yourself? Is that going to be the plan?
No, that's kind of why I wanted to do it, because I wanted to read it with a panel. You know what I mean? I wanted you guys to have it's fun to have all the mics open and to have the back and forth and stuff. So yeah, I prefer that. I'd love to have a full panel, and I wanted to have everybody's mics open. So I thought it'd be fun. It's a little more entertaining that way.
Okay, well, we'll see how I'm feeling tomorrow. You know, with it being a Sunday night, got 4 weeks of school left, and then I'll be hanging out with you every Sunday night as long as you want for summertime.
I'll always love to have you.
I'm still trying to recover. I'm still not feeling 100%, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there, man. I'm getting stronger every day.
And if the panel's ever full, just send me a text and I'll boot somebody out for you.
Hey, I appreciate that. Thanks, man. I'll read somebody's part if I have to. That's fine.
We'll make it happen.
Except for that scene between Yankee and Matt, I don't know if I can do that without peeing myself. So the future nursing home scene, and I'm not going to ruin the surprise. If you guys never heard it, it was unbelievably hilarious. I mean, I actually physically lost my appetite from imagining that happening, but at the same time, I think I peed a little. So it was hilarious. It was freaking awesome.
My wife and I are both big fans. We always like to watch horror movies. We always like to watch scary movies. So this was my chance to write my own little horror movie. So
there you go. There you go.
Come on by and listen. It'll be a good time.
Awesome. Hey, thanks for joining us, man. I appreciate it. But guys, make sure you check out Midnight Range's channel. He's got the Killer Food series out there. We've had a couple guys drop out of the podcast. Tony was with us earlier. Thanks, Tony, for joining in. Triple D, Sandhill Shooter was with us. Thanks for joining in on that. The Spring Hill Shooter. That was the nickname he got at Tulsa because people couldn't get his name right. We kept calling him after the hotel, which the Spring Hill Shooter sounds like a mass murderer, whereas Sandhill Shooter just sounds like some dude with a gun channel, NEA, Matt was with us. Never Enough Ammo. Yeah. In the house. I'm a lifetime fan. I can't help it. Night Strike, any final parting words of wisdom? Anything you want to say?
Yeah, we need to get you a GunTube shirt.
Oh, yes. Yes. Are they up on Spreadshirt?
They are up on Spreadshirt. Go get one.
Okay, and speaking of which, I keep forgetting I need to get the Travis P11 Spreadshirt channel launched. You guys can check that out if you want to. Just got to do the stupid W2 thing. I'm going to price the shirts so I make as little to nothing as possible on them. If they require me to make $1 on a shirt, I'll put that up, but that affects the final price. So I'm going to price them as low as I possibly can. I mean, they're not cheap. They're sometimes $20 to $25, but I want to get it launched because it puts the logo on anything. I think that's kind of cool. So, but yeah, get over there and check out GunTube.org, right? We want to make sure we get that right.
GunTube.org.
Yes, do not go to theguntube.com because that doesn't exist anymore. Are you going to buy up that URL so it doesn't ever get used?
No, what I'm looking at getting is I'm probably going to have to – we need to talk about this off air, but I need to get some form of capital so I can get GunTube.com.
Okay. Oh, okay, so we can actually buy that.
Yeah.
Is how much?
We'll talk about that off air. It's not money.
Okay. Well, no, if we want to do a Patreon or something, or you want us contract readers to pitch in.
I think it's probably got to be more of a Kickstarter type situation.
Okay. Well, hey, we'll talk about it Tuesday night, hit or miss, 9 o'clock.
No, we won't do that then. But okay. We'll talk about other things. So.
Cool. Sounds good, man. So we want to make that happen because we need another place to go. Because when the strikes come on my county, eventually they will. I just want to make sure that I can just take my little external hard drive and just go break GunTube.com. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to break it. I won't go full VidMe on GunTube. I promise. Cool, man. So Night Strike, thanks for joining in. I do appreciate it. Make sure you keep us updated on that CCL as soon as you get it. It'd be good to hear that you finally got it and you can start still carrying. What's that?
It's a CW.
I heard a rumor when it came to carry licenses. I heard a pretty cool rumor today or yesterday for today.
What's that?
Ellis took the day off of work to go take the course today.
Oh, he did.
He was on earlier.
Yeah, he was with us earlier. He's at PSA right now, getting ready to take. He's probably already shooting a gun right now. At this point, he's probably in his class or whatnot. So
no, they're going over lots of boring.
Well, 7 hours of instruction and about an hour of range time at the most.
Yeah, you know how it works. 90% of what you can't do, and then 10% of don't forget there's a lawyer behind every bullet. And
the class,
hey, let's go out to the range for 10 minutes. Here's
the
your
class
license.
is supposed to be 8 hours, but what they do is they give you 2 15-minute breaks and 1 hour for lunch. So
it's just like defensive driving.
Yeah, it is. It is. I've been through that before once. It is. That's exactly what it is. It's 90% of what you shouldn't do.
Yeah.
Oh man. And I remember when I took my concealed carry course, we had to all show off the firearm that we brought with us and why we chose that firearm. And I remember when I took defensive driving, we had to explain why we were there. And what we did, I was actually ordering Chinese food on the phone and supposedly was going 42 and a 35. I don't know. I was busy trying to place my order. I really didn't care. But they were doing one of those mass traffic stops where everybody going down this road was getting pulled over by the Lincoln Police Department. They do that a lot in Lincoln, Nebraska. They nail you going down the main arterial roads in town because you don't have expressways to get around town. So rush hour, you're going 40, 42 miles an hour, pulled me over. I was like, oh, yeah, I think I'm getting pulled over. I'll call back with my order. And I pulled over. And they didn't really do much with cell phone bus back in the day. And the cop asked me how fast I was going. I was like, I don't know, 34, 35. He's like, 42. I'm like, oh, okay. It's like a Super Troopers moment there. So I got my ticket and ended up doing defensive driving. And it was interesting. It was fun, you know. Don't even know where I'm going with this. But anyway, a lot of parallels you can draw between the two, right? One's to keep your license. The other one's to get a license. So awesome. Sean, so what's new in your world, man? Any shows you're going to be hosting or that you do? What is your status, man? Do you have a channel on YouTube or what? What's going down?
I do have a channel on YouTube and an Instagram, which I've been a little more active with these days, but my content creation took a little bit of time. I mean, I had a camera I had to go send in for repair, but other than that, I try to do releases at least every other week. I know I fell behind after Wanamaker just because I was playing sleep catch up, but yeah, usually try to do it at least every other week. Gun reviews, reloading videos, sometimes some range footage, things like that.
What's the name of your channel?
It's the same as my username, Sean Ponery.
Okay. Make sure you guys check that out. I know they always
put that alphanumeric, but I think they mask it so you can actually just use my name.
Okay. Cool. So do check it out if you want some good content to check out there, and you should be all set.
As long as they'll have me, until they're going to say reloading videos or manufacturing ammo, they can.
Now, you do or you do not have live streaming abilities?
I do. I got out of YouTube Grill about 3 weeks ago.
Okay, because seemed like it had been years that you hadn't been able to do any kind of podcast and stuff, and I was like, what? Was it copyright issue or was it a strike or what happened?
It was a 10-minute video that G wanted to share with the people that was supposedly free use, but then somebody else claimed it wasn't, and they threw a strike against me. But what's really funny is I appealed it, the strike disappeared, but the ban didn't. I have no community guideline strikes, I have any strikes, and they still hit me out for 90 days.
Oh man, that's crazy, dude. All right. Yeah, they're throwing out a bunch of Super Trooper jokes right now. Speaking of which, part 2 is in the theater, so make sure you go check that out. It looks good. Good stuff. So, all right. So moving on, Squibby, and any little final last words of wisdom here before we go ahead and call it?
I don't really have any wisdom. I will roll it back to what you were talking about, how we all have our differences of opinion when it comes to firearms. Just a disclaimer out there that if I give somebody a hard time about something, it's just me teasing them. It's not me saying I'm right and you're wrong. I mean, we all have our opinions on why we have what we have, what we do with it, why we like this particular style, or why, and for somebody who's new to firearms or somebody who has no experience in firearms, until you start shooting them, you don't understand how a handgun, I think, is accurate and comfortable and reliable, and that I could hand to you, and you think it's the biggest piece of crap. So you got to live it to understand it.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, we've had people in this podcast today express some pretty strong opinions about certain brands, and like I said, one of my biggest critics was in the podcast today, and I do appreciate him showing up to share his opinion. That's fine, man. That's all good.
Yeah. When I do it, I'm just teasing. And
no,
if somebody gets sensitive and that sort of thing, then maybe I need to decide whether or not I want to tease when that person's around. I have a tendency to do that, and some people might look at it as me trying to be offensive. And I know other people. If I get, I don't care if I get teased. Make me laugh too, please.
There we go. There we go. Oh, yeah, hopefully the other person on the other end understands that you're just joking, because people tend to just go off on things anymore and flip out and stuff. So Yep. All right, man. So thank you for joining in today. I do appreciate your time, man. We're already at 10 o'clock Central Time, which is awesome.
Thanks for the invite.
Next week, yeah, no problem, man. Next week we should be able to meet. I do have some more family obligations coming up here, but we'll see how things go. Not sure about the topic. We'll come up with something this week and kind of see how things are going. But in the meantime, guys, that is it. This has been Caliber Corner number 40. Real quick, people joining in here. We've got Trigger Tickler with us, Samson 1, D-Temp 62, Midnight Range. You guys are there and here. Jorge Cortez, Black Cat Outdoors was with us today. Samson 1, I think I mentioned you. Rob D is with us. Good to have you here, buddy. A lot of people joining in. We had a lot of people drop out, but again, it's been a long podcast. So Sean Newman, Gizzard Gary, Scott Pacini, D-Temp 62, Gizzard Gary, Clam Blank Extreme. Hey, welcome. Again, Steadley was with us. A lot of cool groups joining us today. The 30 Clipazine was with us. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. We had a good chat, had a good talk, a little bit of everything. So in the meantime, guys, I want you all to have fun. I want you to be safe. And as you know, okay, we will talk to you soon. This has been Caliber Corner number 40. Peace.